Kayaknya Philippines sama
Specifically?
I don't think so, because I'm a nationalism person.
Ah.
Supporting all of the Indonesian team.
Wow.
His team is Indonesia, bro.
Yeah,
He
my
bleeds-
team is Indonesia.
See, we bleed red, he bleeds red and white.
That is very, very nice. Very good, but obviously we have projections today because it'll be the first time since, I think, quite some time, even it was the first time ever in MPL ID that we will have a best of 7. It's the lower bracket finals.
Yes, sir.
Talking to you, Coleus, obviously, what do you think will be the changes to the players mentally if we want to play a best of 7 in lower bracket finals?
Ooh, I think it's gonna be a long day for them, about the
Yeah.
mentality, about the stamina for them. And we're gonna see later about the history of RRQ when they
Yeah.
play on the best of 7 series.
I don't like that. It doesn't sound pretty well.
Yeah.
But today's schedule, as scheduled, RRQ Hoshi against Geek Fam. We will be playing that best of 7. So a 4-0 might happen, or even better, a 4-3, and we'll play all 7 series.
And this is the playoffs bracket we've seen from day number 1. Onyx beating Team Liquid ID. Altrigo with the reverse, with the underdog performance to take out Bigatron, sending Mirko into the Shadow Realm. And then afterwards, RRQ got it done. Going up against Onyx, who did beat GeekFam. And yesterday, unfortunately, they were unable to do so. And then now, finally, today, RRQ against Geek. Best of 7, man. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I think it's best of 7. The biggest part of this kind of series is how they're gonna adjust. And I think Cascute, they have a bit more airtime, I guess. In a best of 7, he was in the grand finals in season 14, and that brings me a bit of worry, I guess, because this is gonna be a long, drawn-out battle, especially in the drafting phase, as we've seen. Even in the best of 5, it's already hard. Imagine best of 7.
And both of them are the strongest team. If
Yeah.
you look at the regular season bracket, the RRQ and Geekbomb is the number 1 and 2nd, right?
Yeah. Yes. So this is like them just killing each other. They were the first ones who were able to get the upper bracket in playoffs. But now we want to listen to Alyssa on the team arrival. So Alyssa, who will you be kidnapping today? Ooh, Alyssa, hello.
Alisa masih backstage karena Alisa sedang menunggu kehadiran dari Geek Fam. Karena kita akan melihat di hari yang keempat ini adalah final lower bracket di mana satu slot untuk mewakili Indonesia di MSC 2025 akan diperebutkan. Wow, sudah hadir. Kayak kita culik Make It sekali ya kali ini. Kita tanya-tanya dikit our rookie of the season. Di mana Make It? Oh, oke. Hai Make It. Apa kabar hari ini?
Baik.
Cukup deg-degan gak nih? Karena hari ini sebenarnya salah satu penentuan paling krusial.
Enggak, biasa aja.
Oh biasa aja. Kenapa tuh? Menurut kamu memang best of 7 ini nggak membuat takut kah melawan RRQ?
Main-main aja, ada Arthur soalnya.
Oh kenapa tuh kalau ada Arthur?
Ya mainnya tenang aja, sama-sama tenang soalnya.
Oke, mainnya sama-sama tenang ya. Dan menurut kamu sendiri kalau best of 7 ini yang lebih dibutuhkan tuh mental atau strategi sih sebenarnya?
Dua-duanya, tapi paling pertama mental.
Mental dulu ya. Kenapa tuh?
Enggak apa-apa, mental aja.
Main pilih mental aja. Oke, Make It. Kalau kamu sendiri kan udah dinobatkan nih menjadi rookie of the season kemarin. Dan tapi sayangnya sampai saat ini belum berhasil nih membawa satu tiket lagi untuk Geek Fam. Gimana nih menurut kamu? Apakah ada hal yang berbeda dalam hari ini untuk akhirnya membawa Geek Fam menuju MSC?
Ya itu rezekinya sama yang di atas aja diatur. Jadi kita kasih yang terbaik aja sih match ini.
Oke, do your best and let God do the rest ya. Oke, ada nggak sih hal yang pengen kamu nantikan dalam perjumpaan melawan Sutsuji?
Good luck at aja sih. Enggak ada apa-apa. Jadi ya main-main aja.
Main-main aja, good luck and have fun. Good luck and have fun juga pastinya buat Geek Fam dan Make Kids. Yang kita akan menunggu dan melihat satu slot siapakah yang akan memilikinya antara Geek Fam ataukah RRQ dalam perjumpaan hari ini. So kita akan lihat di match hari ini, final lower bracket antara RRQ melawan Geek Fam.
Thank you, Alyssa. And that was Make It, the smiling jungler. He wants to book a matchup against Arthur or Sitsujin. But now, speaking of Make It specifically, as a fam, Chefin, or Chef Fam, how would you rate Make It's performance in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, I gotta say at least, at the very least, if you're being generous, an 8 out of 10. And it's amazing because he's a rookie, right? We expected him to be a bit more, maybe like under the weather, or maybe just not really, you know, I guess like the pressure is gonna get to him, but for not just Make It, for the whole team of Geek Fam, especially for the rookies and the one or the players that's less experienced, they're amazing. Gobbs was making moves on his own. Kenziski carrying Geek Fam, especially against Alter Ego. So I'm very confident with the way they're gonna play here against RRQ.
Yeah, and he didn't start at this point. If you look at the first half of regular season, he tried to find the chemistry between the Make It and Aboy and of course the Baloyski,
Yeah.
the trio mid lane. But now he's gonna play on the lower bracket finals.
That's going to be an amazing feat. But now it's going to be Alyssa again welcoming the RRQ players. So Alyssa, take it away.
Kembali lagi bersama Alisa Natali, pastinya masih di Backstage MPL Indonesia Season 15 di babak playoff. Karena Alisa lagi menunggu kehadiran dari Raja dari segala Raja RRQ yang hari ini akan mempertaruhkan satu slot terakhir menuju MSC melawan Geek Fam. Dan wow, sudah hadir bersama kita di sini. Kayak kita kalau tadi udah culik Make It, kita culik Sutsujin kali ini. Gimana ya, Ujin? Oke, hai Sutsujin. Apa kabar hari ini?
Baik.
Oke, Sutsujin, hari ini kita akan Best of 7 dan ini satu kesempatan terakhir untuk memperlukan MSC. Seperti apa nih hari ini persiapannya?
Ya dari persiapan kurang lebih diri sendiri sih. Jadi kita lebih disiplin aja nanti mainnya.
Oke, kalau BO7 ini kamu lebih memperhatikan mentalkah atau strategi sih yang sebenarnya lebih penting?
Mungkin lebih ke mental. Soalnya kalau strategi berjalan pun tapi mental di stage-nya goyah gitu-gitu ya percuma juga.
Oke, kita akan melihat dan tadi sempat kita ngobrol-ngobrol sama Make It. Katanya dia tenang-tenang aja karena hari ini ada Arthur. Menurut kamu gimana tuh?
Ya lawan aja sih.
Lawan aja ya, kita lihat apakah kamu bisa tenang ya melawan Sutsujin. Oke, tapi kalau selama kamu dan Cascute di RRQ ini, RRQ tuh sebenarnya belum pernah kalah dari Geek. Apakah kalian sebenarnya sudah tahu winning condition dari Geek?
Winning condition mereka mungkin di Baloy sih sama My Kids. Di My Kids mungkin hero pool-nya yang banyak. Bisa tank, bisa assassin, bisa fighter juga.
Jadi itu ya yang perlu kita lihat dan kita perhitungkan. Dan mungkin ada hal nggak sih yang kamu nantikan dalam perjumpaan melawan Make It?
Pengen adu assassin aja.
Dan aduh assassin kita akan lihat dan satu kata dong buat Geek Fam.
Kasih yang seru.
Kasih yang seru, oke. Good luck. And have fun juga buat RRQ dan kita akan melihat apakah di match kali ini satu slot terakhir akan jatuh ke tangan RRQ ataukah ke tangan Geek Fam. So see you di match hari ini.
So that was Mr. Arturito. He's back on the entrance alongside Alyssa, and he says, "Yeah, let's fight it, Make It. Let's go and brawl." So Arashi, before I get to you, I want to ask a bit about the audience topic voting. Obviously, at home, you guys can also participate in throwing out your opinions. It may be good, it may be bad, but hey, an opinion is still an opinion, right? Audience topic voting: RRQ versus Geek. Who will secure the last ticket to MSC? This is a yes or no question, or
Yeah,
like
prediction.
a two-choice question. Yeah, it's a prediction basically. RRQ will return to the MSC scene, or B, Geek, the new MSC contender. This is, I'm just gonna throw it out in the air. What do you guys think?
I feel like Geek Fam, right? The storyline will be so cool after such a long journey. Baloyski, we talked about this before, man. Overcoming the injuries, the carpal tunnels, developing a team of rookies, right? Up to standard, defeating all the other teams, second in the regular season. If they get it done here, it's a great storyline. But this is real life, my friend. This ain't a movie,
Oh
dude.
my
RRQ's
God.
gonna get it done. Get out of here.
I was wondering, like, why is this guy giving a lot of props to Geek Fam?
That
Apparently,
passion.
it's gonna shut it down in the last second. That's pretty. I don't like that.
Wait. We need a mediator, right?
Uh-huh.
Elias.
For me personally, because both of them are already see what they, like what can they play.
Yeah.
About the game, the yesterday gameplay for the RRQ and Geek Fam. But for me personally, I think Geek Fam have the advantage. Because RRQ is playing very hard during the last game.
Right.
But when Geek Fam against Alter Ego, do you see that game?
That's what I'm saying.
But
3-1 to 0, man.
Yeah, there are those judgments, obviously, but we'll put that to a hold because now we want to talk about the BO7 Jinx. for the Kings of Kings.
Yep.
It's been a long road for them. And a best of 7 is not their best friend. Arashi Hoshi, what do you have to say about this? Will they be able to take over BO7s? Because remind you that if they will win the series, they will have another BO7 to play tomorrow against Onyx.
So technically, they're facing a BO4 team.
BO14!
So it's not an issue at all, man. But I want to quote a very intelligent young caster from Indonesia when he says, I don't believe in patterns, right? That doesn't happen. That's Sheffin. So no, I think we've already broken the Kingslayer Geek Fam curse. We did that this season or somewhere between this season and last season, right? So I feel like this RRQ, we can break those curses, man. So I'm feeling pretty good.
I don't
Hey.
believe in curse, actually,
Yeah.
because it's a 50-50 match between both of them. Both of them are strong right now.
Agreed.
They have a lot of strategy to be shown to us today.
That's true. Speaking of strategy, Cascade said he's saving strat for the playoffs, and even the players also said that as well. But the thing is, when you see Sutsujin's new hero in the jungle, the Baxia, and I believe the Yi Sun-shin, guess the win rate, Arashi.
Hey.
Nada.
You don't have to do
It's
it.
an egg.
Hey,
it's
small-
0%.
Small sample size, bro.
Oh, come
Small
on.
sample size.
I think me and Colius will leave now because we'll set up a boxing ring for you.
Yeah.
Go at it.
Bring it.
No.
But,
Yeah, I'm not trained. I'm not trained.
But, Colius, what do you think about the Yi Sun-shin pick yesterday from Sutsujin?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Actually, if the strategy is work, if the game plan is work, RQ might win the game. But from the early game, it's like they are very be pressured by the opponents.
Yeah.
It's very hard for the Yi Sun-shin to get the items, the gold, and everything else.
Yeah, they were pressured very, very well. And we talked about this yesterday in the panel that RQ was playing on a timer with Yi Sun-shin. He had to be online on the mid game. But now, let's reveal the results. Drum roll.
Filipinos.
And
Filipinos.
whoa!
Ooh.
Geek Fam, the new MSC contender, Mr. Arashi. Where's the kingdoms at?
Well, they're probably on the Indonesian broadcast,
Yeah.
first of all.
Can we take a peek at their
Just
polys?
saying, objectively speaking,
Yeah.
right? This is a more international type broadcast, and you know, RRQ, international, these are two things that hasn't really been, mixing together that well, right? Performance-wise and audience-wise. So it is what it is, man. We're gonna prove you wrong.
Oh,
Kevin, got anything to say about the polling here?
man. I'm just going to say there's not a lot of Filipino, viewer out there internationally. I think it's spread around the world. So this is not a Filipino bias towards Voloski, right? Right?
Probably
Right?
not. I would say it's
Yeah.
probably not.
All the EU
Although it's
people,
still a majority though.
NA people, they believe that Geek is the better team, man. That's
Okay.
objective.
But again,
Exactly,
I think
it's
it's a 50-50 match. Because, from the audience perspective, I think, Geek Fam looks stronger because they beat Alter Ego 3-0 yesterday.
Yeah.
And RRQ.
The first sweep in the playoffs,
Yep,
right?
the first sweep in the playoff. But RRQ find a very hard opponent against Onyx. But now, they learned a lot from yesterday match. They need to think about the new strategy, what they can play today.
Yeah, but in my opinion, right, I think this will be the first Geek Fam kind of real test.
Yeah.
Because Alter Ego, even if they were able to sweep Alter Ego, I'd say that Alter Ego side is probably the weakest out of the top 4 teams, right? So what do you think about that, Arashi? Is this the true test for Geek Fam, or,
I'm surprised you're agreeing with Mr. Arthur himself. He's the one who said that.
Yeah.
Alter Ego, they don't really got any real gameplay.
No game plans.
There's that. I think it's definitely going to be a real test. If they're really having their sights on MSC and on the championship of Season 15, they got to do well here as well, dude, because we've seen what happened yesterday. I think Onyx has faced both these teams, and they've shown some really good performances against both of these teams playing today.
Yeah, indeed. And now, the best bid trial in MPLID Season 15. Do I need to explain who the best mid trio is? I mean, come on. Does anyone have any opinions?
Well,
maybe?
Mr. Bjorn Ong earlier,
Bjorn Ong,
he,
okay.
he gave a shout out to RRQ, did he not? He
did.
said RRQ's trio mid is real good right now.
Second strongest.
Hey.
But RRQ trio mid lane is second strongest. Yar said that. Yeah.
I don't know
first,
about that.
I think the first is still Onyx.
I don't know about that.
But we're close though.
If it's in on their prime time.
Yeah.
As we know, how strong is Kyrie, Keyboy, and Sans.
Hey,
but
sir.
for Beloy, Make It, and Aboy, For Geek Fam itself, it's always changing the jungler. Before they have Nile, they have Ray, but
Right.
now they have Make It.
I would want to try to agree with Paul Leos because to a certain degree, this Onyx trio mid has been there for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
What is this, Onyx glazing section?
I'm not trying to glaze Onyx, but it is the fact of the matter is that they have been together for quite some time. M5, it was their prime. Season 11, they skyrocketed into greater heights. And now for you, Chefin, what do you think? That the Geek Fam trio mid has that can really topple down Arc.
Wait, I don't even need to give out my own opinion. We can ask Keyboy and Sans right away. In the regular season, they got interviewed by Alyssa to see like which mid trio, or no, actually it's a Rome and mid duo is the best in MPL Indonesia. They put themselves at the top. Guess who's second? It's Aboy and Beloy.
Whoa!
So they're wrong.
Oh!
What is this?
Okay, I can just concede the fact that Keyboy and Sans is way better. Maybe like slightly better than Aboy and Beloy.
Or slightly better.
Slightly better.
Dang.
But, you gotta take their opinion, man. They're the best.
I mean, that's some confidence, man. Regular season MVP. Who was it again?
Eman. Eman.
Really?
Eman. It is Eman.
No.
Officially. Officially.
Officially, it's Idok. Yeah.
Exactly.
But-
Polius. Let him know.
But I think, Polius, do you think Edok will have pressure in his back because now he's the regular season MVP and he has to deliver that MSC ticket to RRQ?
Of course, the pressure is gonna be there, I think. But for Idok mentality, he faced against like these grand final vibes a lot of times. So I think Idok can be like the key player for this match. It's the same thing with the Geek Fam. It's Beloy. So it's the battle between the roamer.
Right. And it's funny because they're both roamers, but they all don't operate the same way. Because Baloyski, kind of a shot caller.
Yeah.
We know that for RRQ. Edok, mechanically amazing, but he's not like the main shot caller. That's still on to Rins. And in that sense, I do feel like shot call-wise, split-second decision-making wise, I think Geeka has shown that that's the kind of style they really enjoy to do. That will be one of the big tests that RRQ have to try and battle out against.
And here we are with the teams ready to roll in the Velodrome. Destiny demands one final reckoning. This place is no longer a Velodrome. This place is a crumbling castle. It will bear witness of a fallen king. Once the conqueror, now down with its crown shattered. In front of them stands the King Slayers, looking to strike the final blow. As they make their way onto the stage, we welcome the Fallen Kings, but now they are the Kings of Kings against the King Slayers. Give it up for Rex Regum, Kaon. And onto their left stands the mighty tall King Slayers. It is Geek Fam.
Battling out for a chance at revenge against and also for their own personal vendetta. This is gonna be the highlight, the only match of today. And immediately our Marshal Gary brings in Cascute with Rave against Bluffsy and Dora DSP. The mind game begins now.
What are some strategies, Polios, that you can point out from both coaching staffs? What are the differences that you can really point out in today's matches? Especially we have sample sizes of the draft from yesterday's series.
For me personally, the first thing is the draft. I think both of these teams are very smart or good at drafting. That's why we need to see like what kind of strategy or secret that Cascute have or the Geek Fam have.
Yeah, and I think the hero pool, the overall hero pool will come into play in this game. And so far, RQ, truthfully, has been picking more heroes than Geek Fam, despite Susujin only playing in a, very minimal hero pool. So I think that's gonna come into play because the more cards you have, the better your chances in a best of 7.
Mr. Metaman, let me call you in. There you go. Meta check now for RRQ Hoshi. What is RRQ's favoritism, I'd say, with the Gatot Kacha?
That's an interesting question, man, because earlier in the season, Granger Gatot was a thing, a great go-to.
Yeah.
But we really haven't seen it being really as good. It's just a more safe option, a more flexible option. But I feel like for RRQ right now, flexibility is the least of their worries.
Yeah.
They have to make sure that whether it's rigid or flexible, they make sure that execution stays clean, right? Messiness is the one thing that everyone has been criticizing about RRQ. And Polius, what do you think about this situation here, especially with the Fanny right? Geek Fam can have a great Fanny. RRQ are going to be forced to respect it again and again. That's a big problem for a lot of teams. RRQ is no exception.
I think we totally agree that both of the jungler, Maykits and Sutsujin, are a very great player for using the Vanny.
Yeah.
But for today, the lower bracket final match, I think Vanny will be banned all the time. Yeah, they prefer to play safe, just not let the opponents use the Vanny.
Yep, and now, Chef Fam, it's your time to shine. Because Kenziski, I don't want to say this, Chefin, but he might just go the route of a one-trick Harith.
I don't know about that, but you know, if the Harith is available, then why not? The best at Harith. You can see the outplay against against Alter Ego.
The best?
Flicker.
The best?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Words.
There's no Salvador in this league.
He's up there, yeah.
Yeah, but back to I want to talk about Maykits, man.
Yeah.
He's probably the only guy. I think he's the only guy in the playoffs that has been using Suyo the most, and it's been his main option for the longest time. So it's interesting to see that Geek Fam is not really, they're staying the course. They still want to pick the Suyo, and it's working. So I don't see a reason for them to just switch the gears, maybe just try some new heroes, just like Cascade did with Sutsujin. And Geek Fam, we know their game plan is stick to what works.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to. It's also important to mention the fact that teams understand that Maykits is a great assassin player, so they draft and also ban to try and limit the options there, like the Fannies, like all these other assassins, like the Ling even, that Maykits can do well on. And when that happens, the Suyo is a bit of a best of both worlds. You can kind of be an assassin, but also be a fighter. You can also poke, but also secure kills. So I think that's why we're seeing the Suyo really rise up in popularity, specifically for Maykits.
But it depends on for Baxia and Fredry matchup. I think for today, most of them are banning Baxia because we know that the Baxia potential when Alter Ego is using the Baxia, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I think no more Baxia for this lower bracket final match. So they gonna play like what Arthur said before. It's the battle between assassins against assassins.
Because I feel like the Baxia in the hands of RRQ isn't really the best option. I mean, you put Baxia on Edok, he's not going to play Maker, right? Like the Big Veil Implosion. You put him on Sutsujin, it's not really, the best Baxia. So you're gonna want to put Sutsujin on a winning matchup. And by the way, the rival showdown, the Smiling Jungler versus S-tier Jungler. What are, Chefin, the stark contrasts between Maykits and Sutsujin?
The stark contrast is the other one has an MPL ID second team nod.
What is this?
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, especially for Sutsujin. We mentioned about the Baxia Coelius, and you mentioned it too, Realize. They're not really the best at using Baxia, the thing that you said, but also, they're up against Onyx. We have to take that 0% win rate with a grain of salt. Yeah. And I think they're gonna be able to execute the Baxia much better in this match compared to before, because Onyx they know much better, but how to counter that hero.
Yeah, I mean, for the other side, though, I think between those two, I think it's the difference in the team, right? Sutsujin actually is more well-known for playing those utility junglers, because back then that was something that was his thing. But now we've seen Maykits also pick up some of the Fredrins, some of the fighters. So I really feel like at this point, after the 2-week break, after the first 3 days of the playoffs, I think it's not really fair to say that these two junglers are limited in that sense. But who is the better utility jungler? I think that still leaves a lot to be interpreted. For Assassins, I feel like it's fair to say that for Sutsujin, to join the Hayabusa he can compete with, the Fanny is all for Maykits, man. It keeps the victory here by the Samsung Galaxy S25 series for RRQ. Don't a surprise, bring the pocket strats in, bring in all these creative strats, but make sure that you have the right execution as well. I think that's the most important thing that they have to kind of focus on after they really have this creative style coming in from Cascade. For Geek Fam, minimize the playmaking potentials from Edok and Dairon. That's been a massive win condition for RRQ.
And yeah, give a boy a carry mid hero, and Farsha is a solid option. I think I agree with that. Of course, Farsha is the key of everything. Like yesterday, we see all the matches. Farsha is because of the artillery about the high ground defensive. Farsha is the best heroes for now.
And it's not even close. Not even close to other mages, because it's the only mage that can burst on the backline. And it's a so highly sought commodity in this kind of meta. So I'm curious to see if Geek Fam wants to just pick the Pharsa first, or do they want to, kind of quote-unquote, not really counter it, but they know that Boy really likes the Faramis, and Boy can play the Zos, so that kind of like reactive kind of playstyle suits them better.
That was about to be my question, because yeah, the Pharsa is available, it's a very strong pick. I mean, when push comes to shove, maybe you go for the Yi. If the Chusin's open, you go for the Chusin. But a boy seems to shy away from that Pharsa pick, right? He is used to and accustomed to the Paramis pick or the Valentina pick. So, is this a case of Geek Fam's just gonna give the Pharsa towards RRQ?
That'll be dangerous, man, especially because like the heroes that Aboy prefers now is still also heroes that the Pharsa can do well against. I mean, Goliath, Mirko has been very vocal saying the Faramis, useless. Sometimes it works, but when it works, it's not because it's good. It's because the opposing team doesn't play well against it. What do you think about that Faramis right now in Season 15?
I think it's, in my humble opinion, it depends on the pilot. If the pilot of Varamis, I think it's gonna be a game changer because the prolonged team fight, when he gonna, like, using the Nether Realm is a very important moment. That's why Geek Fam is always leading when the team fights happen when a boy using the Varamis.
Right, and now we go to the drafting phase presented by the official Samsung Baxia. Samsung Galaxy S25 series.
Finally!
Back towards the Baxia, the Lucas, the Hayabusa as well. But for RRQ, they want to stop the Harith. Is this just
finally
going to be a Fredrin answer to the Joy?
I think like Kenziske using Harith is really a disaster for the opponent.
Yeah.
Because how the positioning, how he utilized the ultimate itself, it's very important moment for the opponents, especially during the team fights. That's why yesterday when I do the restream, I always asking like, why nobody's like banning the Harith from Kenziske? And now RRQ sees that, they banning the Harith.
Great move from RRQ, but hey, with the Joy taken away already, the Hayabusa also banned out. No real good options for Citizen just yet. If RRQ want to go for the Fragrant, they better go for it before the second banning phase. But with the Tsushin and Phoveus, they're already gearing up for a brawl type situation. Geek Fam, do they want to oblige and go for and fight fire with fire?
I gotta say, I think this is gonna be an easy mid lane pick for a boy. There's a lot of option that's good here. If you want to just a pure counter towards the Phoveus and also the Jushin, Deep can work. The Pharsa can still work, and it kind of limits the potential of the boat laner of RRQ. They want to pick a Granger, they want to pick a Aerithel or 1-1. It's still gonna, that's the, I guess, the trap that Geek Fam is gonna set in this phase.
The Bedang. A playmaker that's very important right now. A lot of teams have been contesting it. It's a good flex pick option as well, but they've revealed the jungle and the golden already. On early 1-1, I guess Geek Fam are thinking they're gonna ban the Aerithel maybe and make sure that they take away all the dangerous laners. But man, that's a very bold pick. RRQ can go for it right now. Maybe that's what it is. Geek Fam, pick Fredrin or Aerithel, pick your poison.
So they're trying to put RRQ into a confusing situation.
Could be.
So then RRQ should try to make a priority scale, which is more dangerous, the Joy or the 1-1. They go for the Granger.
Wow! Go for the Granger. Because for me, personally, I think 1-1 is a very wise pick. Because there's no Farsia, they are using Yuzuxin as the mid lane. And about the Phoveus, Phoveus is a frontliner. So 1-1 can easily open the weakness point.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. That's the point why Geek Fam is picking the 1-1 on the second pick.
And let's jump in on the backline, right, for the Phoveus.
Yeah.
But the Granger pick, Arashi, they missed the chance to properly just counter the 1-1, either the Joy as well.
I think there's some plans, they might want to have a bit more range because they know they have a mid lane that's very short range. Because man, that's a golden opportunity to go for the Aerithel and counter it. Mirko is very vocal about this. The 1-1 cannot do well against the Aerithel. But now there's questions here about Toy, right? He's always been put on his Granger again and again.
Yeah.
Is he getting a bit too one-dimensional here? Because he used to play the Aerithel and the 1-1. He used to play a wide variety of gold laners. And right now, the other signature pick for RRQ has been taken away by Geek Fam. That Tigreal that was able to kind of turn things around against Onyx themselves.
Another signature pick that Geek Fam might take away here is the lane, because they realize that the 1-1 is there and they want to limit that backline dive potential coming in from Tsujin. And we know RRQ in the last game against Onyx, they were very, Harry was very, very good on the lane. It's pretty much disabling Toy from winning the game for them. So that should be the course here for Geek Fam. And that's a good ban also, limiting the potential of a boy, the Eve. That should be a Farsa, right, for Geek after, or at least in the second phase.
With the Eve being banned now, what options do Geek Fam has against this? Chusen, Arashi.
It depends. If they're concerned about a potential, they banned Lucas already, so anything with good wave clear and kite ability will be important. We've seen the meta kind of start going towards the kiting angle. Both Onyx and Geek Fam when they were, and of course RRQ against Onyx, when they've gone against each other, distance management was something that's very important. I'm expecting some mobility for sure, but there we go. No Lucas, no Fredrin, no Baksha. So RRQ are losing a lot of options here, especially because we know Sutsujin, he's only good on a select few heroes unless RRQ have something up the bag.
But Geek Fam, if they want to go all-out team fights, I think Varamis is in the option right now. They can pick the Varamis because it have a good synergy between Joy, 1-1 and Badang.
Right.
But Jeffin, is this a good, early pick for a full all-in combo? Oh! I was about to ask! And then Ruby comes through. Hey, we talked about this yesterday. Edok, when he was starting out playing for RRQ, he was bringing out the Rubies.
Yep.
He was bringing out the Tigreals. Where has the Ruby been? And there you go, the Ruby.
Mirko is very vocal saying it's not really possible, feasible, or wise to use it in the current meta. But you have to remember, this was the pick that Edok used to explode onto the scene, making those plays again and again. We saw this similar conundrum in M6, I believe, when RRQ were trying to deal with a Joy, and they went with a Belleric. And I asked Mr. NMM himself, wouldn't the Ruby make a bit more sense, right? More spammable crowd control, still having the potential to be aggressive and defensive? He didn't agree back then, but now, maybe they found something, but the Lo Yi, dude, comes in. Geek Fam with the macro threat.
Oh man, this is, and there you go, that Ling, as we predicted, realize.
My oh my, that's gonna be very interesting. But now, Mirko and Gani, walk us through. Casters, time is yours.
Thank you so much, panel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Caster Desk. I'm Mirko, joined here by Gani. Welcome to the lower bracket finals. For the first time in the history of MPL Indonesia, we'll have a full best of, at least I hope it's a full best of 7.
Let's see.
I don't want to jinx anything. Just so that I don't jinx it, it's going to be 4-0. We're not going to see a best of 7.
Hopefully we do get a lot of games though, all right? And who will it be? Will it be the Kingslayers or will it be the Kings of Kings?
The two teams who've enjoyed the paradise that was the upper brackets will now battle in the depths of the lower brackets. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn lower bracket finals. One last ticket to MSC at EWC.
Yeehaw! Game 1, Land of Dawn. A little spell check here, nothing too crazy. 4 flickers for RRQ, 3N and Inspire for Geek. Who will strike first in this best of 3? Ladies and gentlemen, let's witness and enjoy the game.
Really good stuff from Geek Fam in the drafts, I feel, man. Like, they were 2 steps ahead of even us here on the Caster Desk, picking up the 1-1 while the Irithel was open, but it's okay because they knew that RRQ could have gone, or should have, I would say, gone for a jungler, knowing that a lot of it will be banned out. But turns out, Geek Fam instead went for the roam bans, taking away those playmakers from Edok. Something that we saw him utilize very well yesterday, almost being the key factor in a comeback up against Onyx. Looking at the emblems here by IndieHome, pull yourself together for both a boy and Kenzie. And also, we got to pull yourself together for Edok. A pick that Arashi's been talking about, where has this been? It's a signature pick for Edok. A lot of times we see these comfort picks, Gani, and it just doesn't work out. Sans on the Lilia. Let's see if Edok can pull off the Ruby.
It's a little bit of the risk taking here from side of RRQ. That's going to be an airborne. Geek Fam and RRQ, slow early game, touching and going. No spells triggered as well, and it seems like they will go all in the first Turtle fight.
Turtle 1 is going to be a big point of contention here for both these teams. Again, the Ling pick towards the end was the only choice, to be fair, right? We were talking about the Fredrin, but it was banned out. Good pin down, Rins on utility pick as well. A boy, this is what I like about a boy, right? When he gets his hands on the carries, Rins pulled back already, set up better for Geek Fam for Turtle 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great reminder for Boy, who was on the 1-1 against Kyrie on the Ling, and he struggled in that game. Sutsujin looking to replicate that gameplay, and let's see, will it come to fruition or not? Seems like both teams, though, taking it slow for the first turtle take.
Both Assassins, there's no need, no rush to go for neutral objectives. They can just farm out, especially for RRQ, knowing that, again, Maykids was able to take it earlier, but Loiski getting chunked quite low. Turtle number 1, Maykids a level ahead already. Sutsujin still on the orange buff now. Good Lantern Flare, Rins backing away. Time with the flicker forward, get in the Dark Wave, and now Infernal Pursuit over to the back. A boy to be caught as well. Time continues, but Loiski got 3.
Tempest of Blade will not be able to find a mark. That's gonna be Maykids.
Almost getting it now in the mid lane. Riz, no Crimson Beacon. Edok mounted by the glue. Tyrant walking up, gets a basic attack onto the lethal. Wanderer Gob still with immobilization, looking for the kill. Another grab, a flicker missing. Edok getting away 1-1, but Geek Fam, Beloy and a boy are back on the turtle. Dyron with the Dark Wave again.
He collapsed on the turtle. Dyron looking for an escape route.
Boom, bang, chomped up by Gobs. A boy coming in as well. Immobilization, 3-man Dark Wave. Dyron pinned down again, a free turtle, and a kill for Geek Fam.
RRQ, they are struggling to find the connection in that turtle take, and yeah, that was just clean discipline execution from side of Geek Fam. Now, can they translate it to the later stage? Prediction, we got colors.
Wow. Talent prediction by our new application, GoPay. RRQ.
1-2.
Okay, we're 3-3. All right, it's equal. Coleus, me, and Arashi, we've gone RRQ. We have a battle amongst ourselves. But remember, this could be a way for me to curse, you know what I mean?
Ooh, okay. You're teasing us.
Very convenient for me.
4 minutes in, just the 3 kills in total. And yeah, Toy and Kenzie, safe farm so far. Untouched. I don't think they have spent their spells just yet, so that's pretty okay. Toy, though, already rotating towards the mid.
Yeah, trying to get the double lane. Something you can do against the 1-1 when you have the Granger is, again, utilize that double lane. Mainly on the Granger, too, you just have a lot of kill pressure in lane, but Beloyski has been able to neutralize that really well in Game 1. Constantly rotating to keep Kenzie safe, and we really see a shift in styles for Kenzie. I think in the regular season early on, he always wanted to go for the 1v1s. They got soloed by Iman, and after that, he had to go through a whole redemption arc, practicing in scrims, getting better, and now he decides, for the most part, not to engage in the lane.
Yeah, looking at the Adams Corrosion, yeah, 3.1. Oh, 400 between the two, 500 even, so that's an edge.
Good, I'm offended. Rin's already with Lantern Flare. Now, again, Beloyski gonna be caught and will be taken down. Toy picks up the kill, another Lantern Flare over to a boy, but the Brave Smite gets him back to safety. Also, the regen, unfortunately for Toy, just a tad bit late. Could have been a stack on the Sky Piercer.
Out of position, Beloyski there, punished, and unlucky for Geek Fam. RRQ, they have Prio on the next turtle. Geek Fam, can they recover?
Another I'm offended over. A boy gonna be caught again. Lantern Flare not there. Kenzie. Dive on the back. Dark Wave. And they put a pursuit with a pin down with a pinch crack as well. A boy still gonna be caught as well. 1-for-1 though in the end. XP for mid. Maykids on the turtle.
What an initiation by Dyron. Oh, perhaps Beloyski looking for an initiation.
Uh-oh, Kenzie picked up half-second skill. That's an all-in onto the back again. Turtle gonna be taken. Edok pinned down to the wall, gets over the wall. Sutsujin, Tempest Ablaze. Beloyski waiting for the pin again. Oh, Sutsujin!
Finds the connection and Kenzie falls. RRQ, they may lose out on the turtle take on the first one, but second round, it is all them.
It's been so equal that at this point, I guess we gotta talk about scaling. Geek Fam have secured the first 2 turtles in the game, but RRQ have found really good trades on the board. A turret up top, more kills. Do they have the scaling? They certainly do have damage when we get to late game with the Ling. The 1-1 falls off, and Joy goes crazy in the late game. Rins with the flicker out already. I think even if we get to the late game, it's kind of equal, but the diversion plays, I think, is what really will set the two teams apart. Once we get to mid to late, once these turrets start to fall, and once the map starts to open, that's a player. Boys with the rage might again. Crimson Beacon to the back of Boy with the flicker out. Fist crack.
That's a cancellation. Syzygy stuck. Tempest Blade.
Mounted up, still taken down. Great Sky Piercer stack now is asking to pin down one more time over the E-Dog as Makekids jumps to the back. Darkwave canceling the dashes. E-Dog will be caught in the crossbow. Tang! Toy gets a double. 4-6 on the scoreboard. 1-1. Beloy and E-Dog plus Gops.
Great recovery, at least for Geek Fam, right? Could have really gone worse, but it's still a win for RRQ now. They're looking for the siege towards the mid, but Geek Fam was there to just defend and clear. Yeah, let's take a breather. 1.2k gold. Whoa, between them, but okay. That's surprising. RRQ winning on the audience prediction?
Extremely surprising, you know? Probably one of the smaller fan bases in Mobile Legends. That's a joke. RRQ obviously going to always win these audience predictions. The Kingdom is strong, very strong here in the arena too. And then they got the Femunity outnumbered by what, like 3-1. Quite crazy. 1,000 gold in. And to be fair, RRQ, they built themselves such a good composition to deny the joy. They have so many displacements. You see, usually you just wait for Tyrant to pop Dark Wave or that shoulder bash, and then you'll be free. But now you have to deal with, again, the Jusin, the Ruby. And technically, Syzygy can land a Tempest of Blades on him, knock him up.
Goes both ways, right? Let's see here, this First Lord has spawned. Geek Fam, again, they're behind just under a K. They have... I mean, compensation. Holy Crystal, though. That's a big power spike for Makekids.
Uh-oh. I'm offended over the Gobs. Has the spread. Will be able to utilize it. Below is giving the pin down over to Tyrant now. And that's going to all in with a mobilization as well as Rinse pops in the Crimson Beacon. Walks it forward. Dark Wave, crossbow tang.
That's going to be Makekids finding the connection. But I think from the back, Tyrant falls.
Makekids in the back, tearing them apart. Finding a kill. Syzygy locked down by the fist crack as Kenzie lets the basic attacks fly on Ling.
Both teams trading punches. This time around, Geek Fam, they were able to have the right control, and 3 members of RRQ out.
The reactive draft of RRQ has not been able to get them the mid-game wins. Geek Fam waited so patiently for their power spikes, that Holy Crystal right on cue, Gani. You mentioned it, and they went in. Explosive initiation from Beloyski. Saw that Tyrant was opposition. Once you get one of those things, again, one of the core components as to how they've been able to deny the joy, it leaves Makekids with so much room. Rins, it didn't really help that they were kind of scattered in that fight.
No.
They gotta play for Toy. Toy has 3 kills still, 2 stacks on Sky Piercer.
It's really tough, right? I mean, like, what, 2 minutes ago, RRQ had the gold lead, 1,500 gold. 2 minutes later, Geek Fam, almost 3K. And they're not done on the offense. Lord is still marching bottom side. That's a diversion.
Syzygy, oh, pin down! B! Big Brain Beloyski with the help of his partner in crime, a boy.
He really has a dream. A boy. Lord, bottom side. Can they pressure more?
Yes, they can. I don't know about the wave clear from RRQ. Makekids in the back, the smiling jungler, smiling a bit too widely in this game, getting everything he wants.
Okay. Tempo, seems like with the holy defense, RRQ will be able to hold on. And Geek Fam, at this point, right, we are about to enter the late game. And it's going to get very scary for RRQ with the diversion play. We saw what Sans did with the Luoyi yesterday against RRQ. So will they have that PTSD against a boy?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's tough. We were talking about if both teams scaled equally. Oh, Yin Yang reaction now. Over to E-Dog, mounted up as well. E-Dog has the flicker. He does not want to utilize it defensively, but he does make it!
Finds it. Tempest Blade defensively. Geek Fam, though, they will back away.
So slow, yet so calculated for Geek Fam. They don't rush into these things. They just find the poke. And now we're really seeing, you know, the weakness of the Ruby. The weakness of when E-Dog doesn't get a prio pick. Beloy, no one saw that. It's fine. Oh, that Tigreal ban really hurt.
Great read, right?
Yeah.
Draft-wise, especially in the second phase.
Better than Onyx.
Oh, oh. But yeah, Haskell's as well, Kenzie. So that survivability, gotta take into consideration where RRQ might go for the all-in, but the Haskell can be clutch for Kenzie.
For sure. He's gone for the crit build, ladies and gentlemen. Diversion from a boy with a dream, a boy with a catch!
Again,
Sujin.
That's Sujin though. Calm, collected. Okay, so at least he has secured the true damage item within that endless battle. So I guess he has chances, right? And now he is controlling the top side, and Geek Fam, they're gonna blitz this.
DOD for Toy. Big item, electrifying beast over the Lord already. They want to blitz this as quick as they can. Sujin nowhere to be seen. Make it, secures it, Rinse. Ball, people with the crossbow tank gets popped in. Now again, Gobs in the back line, zoning them away. Siren isolates himself. Dark Wave.
Crossbow a Tang, healed it.
And another diversion from a boy! Sujin dove in! Tempest of Blades will find a boy, but is it worth it for the cost of the mercenary's life?
Bang, 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 bang. That's 4 RRQ members eliminated.
Damn! That's 2 times more bangs than you see in the title of the video game. RRQ. Now they're really on the back foot, and man, this reminds me of an old version of RRQ. An RRQ in their toughest times, only relying on their gold lane. Called them Skylar-centric back in the day. Currently, it's all Toy.
During that time, gotta remember, they were a defensive team. They are so good at defending. Will that characteristics show in this game? They're behind almost 7K. Defending a Lord, can they pull the defense out?
And that team was actually knocked out by Geek Fam, making it a 1v1 against the Mercenary. Once a part of his team back in the day. Now in the mid lane of Siege. Edol walking up. Gobs with the spread already as Makins walks up as Rins pops in the Crimson Beacon. Big resource.
RRQ still holding on. They want to prioritize to take this Lord down. Geek Fam patiently waiting for a mistake.
Oh, that's a mistake. Kenzie, way too aggressive. Luckily, you have a second chance when you're on the 1-1. RRQ weren't ready for Edok to find a target like that. Base turret down in the far lane. This is of immense value for Geek Fam.
All right, seems like RRQ again. They are able to defend the Lord here. Second Lord, and by the way, Ruby became the second most picked hero. That's a pull.
I'm offended. Now diversion into the back. A boy finds it, and he will be able to pop in. Kenzie's deep in the side again. Sujin Stronger, but let's see him make it.
That's going to be Dyron though. Trying to find counterplay. Toy finds it.
No crossbow tang. Interesting.
Okay.
Kenzie would pop it in. Ends up being 1-for-1. Gobs for Dyron. I guess you could say the losing team usually benefits from a 1-for-1 trade, but I don't know about this. I think it really still benefits Geek Fam knowing that, again, without that front line, they can't open their own jungle. Geek Fam has full control of the Kingdom's jungle.
Really hard for the RRQ composition to open the map, right? Sure, you're a Ruby, but Ruby's not a hero that can really face check, especially when on a losing team. So let's see here how they handle it. Seems like RRQ's play is just clump up, sends Sujin far lane, but this time a different approach. Sujin joins immediately.
But while you look at that, Wind of Nature already built up. Veloci actually taking a half. Make Kids threatening the back. Wind of Nature. This is a big item for Geek Fam, for Kenziski. The only real threat for Kenziski the entire game, 16 minutes, has been physical damage dealer. Now reaction to cancel out the conceal. A boy to be engaged on Tyron, finding the Dark Wave. Toy in the midst of it all. Now with dive in the back with Sujin. A boy will be falling again.
That's gonna be Make It Tempest Blade.
Trying to go for more. Kenzie's gone live with a crossbow tag. Edok mounted. Kenzie go and fist drag over to Sujin. On the wall, he falls to give Kenzie a triple. Only one man left standing. Toy. He deals with the wave, but Geek Fam have another.
Let's see RRQ. Toy, will he be able to defend this one?
Make Kids with the minions in the mid lane now jumping in all the way to the back with the electrifying beats. Now the rest of the team, Beloyski with a punch to finally knock RRQ out in game number 1.
Geek Fam, they strike first in this best of 7. Great approach, great execution, and RRQ will be the ones to suffer first.
A devastating blow to the Kings who've just fallen from the upper bracket finals. The Fallen Kings. How could it be even more poetic in their weaker state going up against the man, Beloyski, the team, Geek Fam, who've been called, who've been named the Kingslayers, the one that has always been somehow the kryptonite of RRQ. Our reverse sweep with the solution back in season 12. And man, RRQ, I don't know what to say. They have to go back to the drawing books they have. They went back to regular season draft. Didn't work in game 1.
Great momentum build up for Geek Fam indeed, but Miracle, let's remind the viewers, this still is a best of 7.
Yep.
It's gonna be a long journey. Let's see if RRQ can recover quick for game 2.
Well, for the Kingdom, let's hope they, well, they are hoping that that is gonna be the case. So scattered these skirmishes. Again, RRQ lost the identity of what is their real win condition. Play for Toy! This is where you really need to be Toy-centric. They've been trying to get away from the shadow of Skylar-centric for the longest time, that they are so afraid of it. If he's the only one in your team doing well, play for your gold lane. No problem, Kingdom. Let's see if the panel agrees with us here, Gani. Realize, Coleus, Sheffin, Rash, what do you think?
Geek Fam, they throw their punches first on towards RRQ in what was an exciting match. It is 1-0 as of now. They still need 3 more wins to come, so Chefin, calm down a bit.
BO7.
BO7. Arashi, first thoughts of that game.
I really feel like RRQ, again, we're just a bit disconnected, man. There are so many moments where they're gonna be diving, but not really, right? And funny enough, when Mirko mentioned that, right before Mirko mentioned that, oh, they're not really playing for Toy, I said the exact same thing right here. Like, Toy is doing pretty okay even in yesterday's matches on that Granger, and they never really play for him. They don't peel for him, they don't help him out. So for the most part, Maykids had a field day just looking for him in the back line.
Yeah.
Contrast that to how Beloyski was always on Setsujin's case, dude. Every single time.
And my question is, do Ling and Ruby is a wise pick for this game? Because Ruby is not too sustainable to be on the front laner. But if we are talking about the Pobius cannot start the team fight as well as Ruby. That's the problem. And Maykids is always free to go to the back line.
Yeah.
I guess like it starts with the draft. You mentioned about the Link pick, Coleus, but I feel like there's no really other good option there in the second phase. The second banning phase from Geek Fam is nothing sort of brilliant, man. That Tig ban and also the Fredrin ban. That just gives Make It a lot of green light to just go crazy to the backline. And I feel like that's also the big factor why Make It didn't even die a single time, despite them kind of drafting towards Make It's counter in that Ruby in the second phase.
I like odds that Geek Fam has now in their pockets. It's favoring towards them. But the player of the game, presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. It is Maykids, and slowly but surely he's growing to become a man.
The smiling jungler, man. Look at this, every single moment in the early game where RRQ were trying to use the Phoveus power, was trying to use the Ruby playmaking potential, and the Tsushin in the early game. Very, very annoying. Geek Fam were able to just stave off, wait long enough, and then once RRQ are kind of scattered, they've overcommitted to multiple objectives in the team fights, multiple targets, they strike back and immediately make it. Kenziski, whenever they decide it's time to go, usually most of the resources are done. And Beloyski on the Badang, again, defensive, aggressive, you name it, man. He was being so active all across the board.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. In the draft, I feel like for RRQ, or actually you mentioned it, it's more of a reactive draft compared to Geek Fam. But Geek Fam, they can go both ways. They can be as aggressive as they want, especially with the Badang, and also the diversion coming in from a boy. Look at this. This is the nail in the coffin there. Oh my god, Setsujin. valiant effort, but I feel like this is not really the wisest of trade there. Just,
Bruh.
you know, a boy and Sujin getting traded out. I think that's a no.
Yeah, because the DPS is still there. Kenziski is 1-1, can destroy the base turret. And they got the important base turret, which is the bottom base turret, and where the Lord is on the top lane. And in this moment, I think it's already disaster when I see the Maykits go to the back line, aiming for Rinse and for the toy.
Speaking of the draft, I want to ask a specific question in which I think Geek Fam has the upper hand. They were able to trap RRQ into, you know, banning either one of the counters towards a specific hero, right? For Geek Fam, they had Kinziski with 1-1 as a winning condition. Second one, they had Joy as well for Make It as the winning condition. Left open for RRQ was either to pick the Airthal or the Fredrin. What do you think about this thought process? How was Geek Fam able to steal away those two heroes for themselves?
Well, I'm thinking like if you were gonna go for the Granger anyways, right? Then why not just go for the Fredrin? You know what I mean? Because like in the end, you know, even if Geek Fam did ban away the Irithel there, then they would still have the Granger, the option for the Granger. And if they want to force that onto Geek Fam, their final two bans were the Tigreal and the Fredrin, right? So if they picked Fredrin there, then they're gonna have to pick between letting Kenziski lane against an Irithel on a 1-1 or face the Tigreal. Either way, I feel like it's a better option compared to what happened here.
So you're saying they should have just saved the gold lane pick in the second phase? For them?
I dare say, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's also my take as well, especially with the fact that, you know, there is a Joy, and I don't think there is any... It's a no-brainer pick, the Fredrin.
Yeah.
And the Granger is just there. I don't know, man. I feel like, what's up with Toy and Granger? Yeah, it worked in the regular season. The win rate is absolutely amazing, 80+%, if I'm not wrong. But in this case, I don't see, like, a big reason for him to go for a Granger instead of just going for, like, Irithel right away.
So my assumption is that they wanted the Dead Sonata to help check out, check for information. Because
Diversion.
they have the Tushin, right? Usually you would see something else there, like a Selena, to try and counter and find information for the Tushin. But for the against the Lo Yi. But because it's not available, they go for the Granger, which is the next best thing, kind of. But again, it's just trying to pivot a bit too hard, a bit too creatively. And it might be also the fact that they want to leave Toy to kind of play for himself. But again, even if that's the idea, you know, the Moscov's still open. I mean, realize you're like, you know, one of the best Moscovs in your opinion. Again, in his own opinion. So,
what was that?
The Moskov against the Joy, right? Against the Badangs, you know, I feel like it's really not a bad pick either. So,
But I think RQ have the game plan want to like conquer the early game.
Right.
Because it's against Luoyi. They don't want like Geek Fam have the map control. So Luoyi can like use the diversion freely. But the game plan execution is not well. That's why on the early game when Beloy can stop 3 person using the visual, it's a disaster for RQ, especially when Sujin already used his ult. He cannot contest for the first turtle, and then it keeps snowballing for the game.
I think they were really tunneling on the Lo Yi as well, because if you see how they're playing in the early game, it's hunt the Lo Yi. Dude. that was the name of the game. Wherever a boy was, he was just getting hunted again and again. But you have to think about this, right? They've stopped the Lo Yi from being a big damage powerhouse, but they're allowing Kenziski to farm. You know, they're allowing Maykits to just farm without being invaded as well. So I think it comes back again to what is the plan here for RRQ as far as their aggressive goals and also their defensive goals. Do they want to shut down a boy, or do they actually have to focus a bit more on Maykits or Kenziski? And by the same token, in the fights, are they relying on Sutsujin to carry the fight, or are they relying on Toy? And they have to kind of figure out which one works better and make a call there, because I think it's kind of sporadic all over the place.
Yeah, it's all gonna go back to the drawing board, at least for Keskut and NMM and Rave. That as of now, we are going to talk about our MSC Battle Plan Indonesia representative, MSC Legacy through the ages. Now, I have a quick question for you guys. Who do you think is the best squad or the best Indonesia MSC team ever for you, Arash?
The best MSC team
Like
from Indonesia.
Yeah, for example, like your favorite iteration.
Do you realize what he's trying to do?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Nah, I'm just asking for your,
Is there
opinion.
any other answer aside from the team that almost got the golden robe?
Okay, so it's Onyx.
Yeah.
Okay, Coleus.
Onikage.
Oh,
Kage.
Kage.
So, see, there's different answers.
Shut up. Go on.
For me, I think it's for the newest Onyx, the Prime Onyx, Season 11-ish Because I feel like
Ah.
the game is much more developed by now. By then.
Okay.
And PH is actually an actual powerhouse that you really
Yeah.
have to beat for you to be able to win it out.
So 3 votes for Onyx, and yeah, I think they have been able to get those results out of there. But hey, I think they're still strong teams, right? Throughout the iterations of MSC, there have been RRQ, Evos, even Bigatron make.
Realize you're casting tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's why you're trying to get out all the Onyx banter a day before while you're at the panel.
Yeah.
Nah,
This is what's happening. Ladies and gentlemen,
I speak facts.
the agenda is very apparent.
I speak facts.
Shameless.
I don't do if buts or maybes. I do absolutes.
Look at this. These are the absolute
Yeah.
representation
Ah.
of each region. So the only ones that hasn't been represented so far is ID and MY.
Yep, I'll read it out to you guys. Journey to MSC 2025, obviously MPL ID. Onyx ID is there. Seoul
Brother.
Esports, Aurora Esports, rather Aurora Turkey is there. SRG OG. And we do have actually that matchup, right? I think it's DX against Homeboys coming up soon to really get that final slot. By the way, Arashi appeared in MPL MY earlier
Oh,
today.
yeah, I saw it.
That's
I saw
pretty
it.
nice.
Man.
I have no idea,
But
man.
me and
That was-
Jeffin have been preaching about Ultra Legends, haven't we?
Yeah.
This is, by the way, Coleus, if you don't know Ultra Legends, this is a team that was formed just as a group of friends. They're friends, basically like that party on that party that you have in the War Cup, like
It's a hangout party.
yeah, they're like hangout party. They don't really have that professional background. I mean, some of the players do, like Ricetrim, for example. But the jungler's name, by the way, is Throwboy.
Throwboy?
Yeah.
To be fair, he was throwing a bit of
Hey.
times,
Hey.
But we gotta take this the result, man.
But
Whoa.
whoa.
Wait a minute.
We have a breaking news. We have breaking news. Is there any answer to this? Because if not, I think we're gonna break the news for you. It's not going to be DX. It's going to be Homeboys who will be the second MPL MY representatives in MSC. Congratulations for Homeboys. Mr. MPL MY man, what can you say about Homeboys?
I mean, they're cool, man. They are they have this wild style that I think really makes for what the cool kids are calling absolute cinema these days. Well, you know me. Since back then, I like seeing a lot of action in the Land of Dawn.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm really happy that that's the result we have going on.
Yeah. I like Soren as well. Soren has been not just in game, but outside of the game, he's one of the most entertaining players that we have. Period.
I don't care if you like Sword or not. What I like is my Samsung Galaxy.
Okay.
What is? Hey, Coleus, by the way, he came up to me and he was like, do we use the A35 5G today, or is it going to be the S25 series? And he pulls out casually his S25, because when it comes to gaming, the latest Samsung Galaxy S25 series is the real champion. This smartphone is incredibly powerful for gaming, thanks to its specs. What are the specs, Arashi?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna ask Coleus.
Okay, Coleus,
Just
the
ran
spec.
through it.
Read out the specs, Coleus, please.
It had the Snapdragon 8 Elite for the Galaxy processor, built in on 3nm technology, making it the fastest processor ever in a Samsung Galaxy device.
Wow, by the way,
With this cutting-edge performance,
Yeah?
I think your gaming experience will be super smooth and totally lag-free.
it is lag-free.
Can we open MLBB?
Yep,
Real
of
quick?
course.
By the way, I was taking notes on the Samsung Galaxy S25 series because I like taking notes digitally. Like I like paper notes, but they get kind of messy and all. And digitally, I just kind of write myself. Let me write something to show you how beautiful writing with the S Pen is. Right? It's called the S Pen. Because it's basically the Samsung pen.
Can you play? Can you play with the pen?
Cannot.
Is there even any use for to play like this?
Maybe Beloski. That's what Beloski
I'm
needs.
gonna write this. Never mind. And by the way, if you do have a Samsung Galaxy or any Samsung device, you can go to the Team Galaxy Zone Cam by Samsung Galaxy. So Coleus,
Okay, I'll go.
you leave right
ya.
now. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Hey, we still need you here.
What's going on here? Hey.
We still need Coleus here, but yeah, like I said, I'm writing here. I don't think you guys can see, but they can see.
Onyx Chat.
Onyx chimps.
Oh, wait. What'd you say?
I'm reading what he wrote.
What'd you say?
Onyx Champs!
A champ.
Come
What's
on!
that?
I couldn't see.
That's
it.
kind of.
Okay. You can't.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That's real. That's handwriting.
Yeah, my
okay.
handwriting is bad, but hey, aside from this beautiful S Pen that we have, it also has the Gemini Live, a feature you can literally talk to about MLBB. if you don't have friends like me, I talk to Gemini.
Oh.
It's like you have a personal coach. You can even
Yeah.
ask the item build for the heroes that you use.
Yeah, when you're playing, right? You can go like, Gemini, can you help me? I'm up against a Leslie in lane. What do I pick? Who do I, use, or what do I build?
Claude.
Because no, no, you don't. You get cancelled. You're Blazing Duet.
He's a bad coach.
Took you a little while, dude.
That's why I need Gemini, man.
Yeah, you need Gemini.
Hey, can Gemini be my girlfriend?
Be your girlfriend.
I don't know. I mean.
You can probably try and work it out somehow,
Yeah.
right? But I don't think I would advise it at all.
Because how do you feel when, Gemini knows whatever you're doing?
It's in the heart, I don't need any kind of physical.
You don't have to be that down bad, Chefin. There's a lot of fish in the sea. All right, Coleus? I mean, you're a married man, and you don't need Gemini to show your love.
But sometimes I think Gemini can give me a good advice. Right?
Marriage
It's
advice.
not about the Mobile Legends only.
to Gemini.
Family consultant, business consultant, tax, I don't know, maybe like you
Everything in
can
this
count your
phone.
tax as well.
Everything.
Everything in this phone.
Maybe gift recommendations, because I hate that the most. Like, oh, it's there's an occasion here. What do I buy?
Date please.
Oh man, Gemini, brother.
I want
help
to
me
try
out.
out. I want to try out Gemini here, but the phone is set up into Indonesia, Indonesian language, so can't really use it right now.
Because you cannot speak Indonesian.
I can't. I
Yeah,
was born and raised in the
you're
U.S.
foreigner.
At 6, I went to Europe, and at 8, I went to Hungary, and then
Yeah.
at 10, I went to the UK. 12, I had to go to China.
I can see why you're from Hungary.
Why?
What do you mean?
Whoa,
What is going on?
This guy, dude.
Devin, why are you firing shots, man?
I've been firing shots since day one, Colby.
Do you want one?
Oh my god.
Do you want one?
Make sure you don't complain when I fire back.
Coleus is though. Coleus is my G.
You know what he said? He said this. Gold Gap right now is bigger than Eterna's forehead.
Okay, we don't talk about that.
Imagine.
We don't talk about that.
I
alright?
wanna. Nah, I will.
No,
I will
no,
dig,
no, no, no,
I
no,
will
okay.
dig
That was
back
rough.
on your past crimes.
I'm sorry.
Kevin.
Okay.
Cornelius, the thing is, he said it when he was casting, and Eterna was on the panel. So she heard it, and she was like, what? What?
What are you saying?
Let me clarify for all you guys, Eterna lovers, not lovers, but Eterna fans,
Eterna fans.
Eterna
I
mania.
actually genuinely apologize to Eterna for that. Like, without even laughing. Like, I really,
Yeah,
that was
it's
my
okay.
mistake. There's
It's all good, man. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all good. Now we go back to the game. Previous game recap. Kinziski with the 1-1 and Toy with the Granger. If it's not the Granger, what do you think the RRQ needs to put him in?
Well, again, the Aerithal comes to mind. Remember, when Toy first debuted, right? One of the big heroes that he kind of, one of the big picks that he actually showed up on was the Aerithal. And he was able to do this weird play where he hid in the bush, and once everyone went by, he came in with the heavy crossbow and just got like a triple kill out of nowhere. So, again, this is a man that understands how to play a lot of other heroes, even the Harith to a degree as well, I'm pretty sure. So, I feel like that could be used in the drafting phase. But again, I feel like, what's the idea here? Is it going to be the gold lane? Is it going to be the jungle? Right? Because if you're trying to get all the lanes in a really good spot, I think against Geek Fam, that's a bit too idealistic.
Yeah,
right?
you cannot be greedy.
They won't let it slide. Yeah.
Even the Moskov works really well. And by the way, that Moskov play, I believe that was against Geek Fam, right?
Where he was survived with a...
I know, right? So why not just use it? It works against Geek Fam.
I did mention it against the Joy as well. You can have self-peel. So, all right. I think immediately from the second game, if you've seen how Coach Keskut operates, there's going to be some changes immediately.
Yeah.
I do wonder though. Again, with so many options, sometimes a blessing could be a curse in disguise. With so many potential options as far as which role you want to prioritize, which one is Keskut going to be focusing on, right?
Yeah.
And I do wonder if there's going to be any particular plan for Dairon and Edok, because I think that particular combination with the Roman EXP being so important for RRQ, the synergy between the two has to be really, really good. I think more so than just like what lane opponent they go to.
That's true. Now, we're going to prepare as we go to the drafting phase presented by the official smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Sorry to cut you off there, Coleus. Do you have a point to make?
I think it depends on the heroes, what kind of momentum heroes that they want to pick right now. Especially if Darren is using like Pobius again. Maybe it's gonna be different gameplay that they can play right now. But if Darren is using like Hilda, who can disturbing the enemy's jungler on the early game, it might work against GigFam if Maykits is using the assassins.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Hilda is obviously the bread and butter if you want to try to disturb
Whoa.
the assassin, and they will ban out the
Oh.
joy.
Yep.
Is disrespect warranted?
Well, but the other cat is open. Harith is open. So you have to pick, you know, two poisons at the same time. I think this should be an easy Harith, right? Do they want to go for a chip first, maybe? That should be an option, but it hasn't been working for Beloyski. It only worked. Oh, never mind.
Whoa!
Suyo.
Suyo?
Was it
Suyo.
banned in the first game?
Yep. RQ banned on the first game, so that's why Gig thinking about like picking the Suyo on the first pick, because if they not pick the Suyo, RQ might pick the Suyo on their first pick.
Oh boy.
But right now against Suyo, Maykits, are they gonna use the chips?
I don't know about that.
I think chip is free. Loyi is free.
They go chip Loyi? Is that a possibility?
Onyx, Strat.
Onyx can pull it off, but Onyx, in a way, are built kind of different, Coleus. I think it's a tall order, but RRQ, they've been experimenting with some crazy picks, but no. They go back on the Tsushin.
Oh, man.
And the Gapot
Oh,
Kacha.
is this gonna be Geek Fam with the Loyi chip? I mean, Beloyski loves the chip. A boy plays a Loyi as well. In the previous game, he was playing that as well.
I think it's still gonna be a Badang again. And they're gonna still save the mid lane for the second phase, just the way they usually do, man. I don't know why. They always save a boy's pick for the last pick and left him with like crumbs, you know. But they can have a different approach here, I guess, because oh, never mind. It's still gonna be the Harith consistency. I mean, there's no reason for them to stray away from this almost guaranteed winning hero, you know, in a team fight. Now the question is, what kind of frontliner do you pick? Oh, shocker! It's gonna be a Badang again.
Oh, the 1-1 take up by RRQ though. So I guess it won't be a counter matchup against an Irithel. That's
If
much is
Pharsa.
guaranteed. But yeah, the Pharsa I think has to be respected immediately. And along with that, I don't know, heroes that can kind of like sustain from the crossbow of tag.
Oh, Faramis?
Oh, Faramis. Hey, Geek Fam have been bringing it out, you know. Despite Mirko's advice, Geek Fam have been kind of adamant on going for that Faramis. And by all means, it is a signature hero for a boy. And you mentioned it, Coleus. Depends on the pilot.
Because the pilot is a boy, right?
Yeah.
But now, I think it's gonna be a very aggressive gameplay during the early game from the Geek drop, because they have Suyo, they have Badang, who's very powerful on the early game, and they can give space for Kenziski to farming, and join the team fight later.
The Harith is a late game monster, right? But the Suyo and the Badang, I think, really enables purely early game as well. I mean, with the Jawhead, it was so good. With the Badang, even better, because now you have a set. You have a sort of a way to just open up the map, and even the skirmishes is going to be very nice. But now, Geek Fam, what are they looking to ban?
What are they looking to ban? First one is blue, so they want to secure an easy matchup for the EXP, but I'm still focusing my, you know, what's going to be the Apoy pick here, because I feel like when Geek Fam is playing against a 1-1, they always need to somehow either pick the Pharsa, which has already been banned, or pick either Lu or Yi or the chip. So Lu or Yi is getting banned. There's still an Eve. That might be an answer too, because considering that, you know, the last match, RQ versus Onyx, that was the saving grace. That RWM, a single ultimate from Sans, was able to get Savero down to 50% HP in a flash.
You have to remember that the combo, right? The Yi along with the Zaman Force from the Harith, it means that you're stuck inside the Zaman Force, allowing your gold laner to output a lot more damage as well. Aside from that, being a direct counter to the Tsushin as well, seems like a double value pick for Geek Fam. I don't see why they wouldn't go for it, as they ban away the Fredrin. So once again, no utility available for Sutsujin.
Yeah, just targeting Sutsujin down to the core, right? Forcing him to play yet another unfavorable matchup. I mean, the lane is still available, but do you want to go the lane against the Harith, right? It's going to be very hard for Sutsujin. So what are some sensible options then for Sutsujin?
Oh boy, at this point,
For looking at the hero pool that Sutsujin has secured in the regular season, not much actually, you know? He only played 7 heroes this season, and the ones that's left that has been picked is Yi Sun Shin and Ling.
If there's no Valentina, how about Lucas?
Lucas already been banned.
Yeah, it's bad.
I
by
didn't see.
Geek
Oh
Fam.
yeah.
Because it's Naruto, it's not Lucas, technically. But this is the issue also for RRQ. We talked about how they are so dynamic with the engages, and how they're trying to try and hinge on that using the Ruby. But now with the Gatot and the CC, yeah, they have sustainability this time, but they don't have a lot of catch at all.
And they need variability, right? Kimmy and Phoveus.
Man, the front to back is crazy from Geek Fam right now.
At the same time, you're up against a 1-1 too.
Yeah, but I mean, the crowd control, the sustainability, and damage output, man, Geek Fam is overloaded if it's gonna be a front to back, and there are no assassins left around for Syzygy to try and use.
Assassin Zero might be the option. Maybe another Ling, because he can aim for Kimmy or even the contest with Suyo on the early game for the Turtle.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't many choices for Ling as well, right?
Alpha.
For rather for Syzygy,
Oh,
but
no.
he will go the Alpha. Why the oh no?
I don't like it. I don't like it, I gotta say. You're just walking into a lot of CCs, and Alpha is not good against CC, unless you have Matilla to bail you out.
No.
Kaplan is snowballing right now, I think,
Yeah.
Alpha very needed the kill points.
Yeah, I think the winning condition for the Alpha is to snowball early on. Maybe get those items go on, and now it's up to the casters to bring out the game. So Mirko and Gani, stage is yours.
Wow. The Alpha last pick for RRQ. We thought we were gonna be seeing like a weird pick for Syzygy, perhaps something like a Yi Sun Shin again. They go for the Alpha, which is, I would say, just as weird. Like Shepard mentioned, so much CC on the other side. The Phoveus displacement as well. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn. You can see the Garuda wings of MPL Indonesia to fly us into this world. Edith too, right there to welcome us.
Let's see, will RRQ take game 2 to equalize, or will Geek double their lead? A boy mid with the Kimmy. Let's see if this guy can make it happen again.
Who are you to shred as the Alpha? Usually you see a Baksha on the other side, you know, a tanky boy like a Gatot even, and then you say, sure, let's go Alpha, let's shred him. Make Kids, Suyo isn't tanky, not that durable. The Phoveus, I guess? Kanziski already struggling up top in this 1v1. 1-1, definitely favored in this battle, in this matchup. Pull yourself together as usual. Nothing too crazy. 2 bargain hunters though for Geek Fam. And 2 Inspires too. Beloyski in the mid lane. I actually thought it was going to be the Zosk for a boy. They went for a more meta pick.
Yeah, it seems like they do not want to take that risk just yet. Kenzie though, great spot, right? Already popped his Purify, so that's just Kenzie. Got to play it very, very carefully in the lanes. A quick setup in the bottom side though, but Dyron, for now, is able to space out from that threat.
I just really love the understanding of Geek Fam as to like how the individual matchups play out. They know that they can't go up top in the gold lane to help Harith. Harith in this lane, for the most part, is just going to be there to farm up. So instead, they rotate down below to get Prio for Gobs, who's also in a losing matchup against a CC, giving Gobs some more space to breathe, and now he doesn't get punished as much as he should have in the early game while going up against the CC.
Okay, now, both teams just touching and going, trying to trigger spells before the first turtles. Of course, it's going to be RRQ here, moving as a unit, 4-man rotating towards the mid to get that mid prio.
Yeah, good prio. Rin's already zoning the back again. Gobs able to get level 4, but a boy isn't level 4 just yet. Tyron, Curtain Call, a boy able to walk just in time together. 2 big ultimates already used out. No Crimson Beacon and no Curtain Call. Make his level 5 to Syzygy's 4.
Let's see, that's going to be Rin's taken down first.
Uh-oh. Syzygy doesn't know what to do. Not using his Pure Alpha. That could have been a big play to win a team fight. Hesitation from RRQ. Syzygy has another shot. Who will he go on? That's a pin down over. Only one member. Locked for the Spirit of Alpha. Gobs goes in for the pursuit over the Tyrant. Again on Syzygy. Edok looking for the kill, but Beloy gets away.
The juke from BBB. And of course, Gobs will be able to lock Syzygy down. First turtle goes to Geek Fam.
What happened to RRQ? The clean, calm, composed early game system of Kescute is breaking in front of our eyes. We saw the keys to victory for Geek Fam bring it to late game, where that inevitably happens, but for RRQ, it's not even functioning right.
Keep in mind, folks, that RRQ, they're the regular season champion. Right now, 3 minutes in, they're behind 2,000 gold. That is significant.
And it's so glaring that this 2,000 gold lead, yes, was from Geek Fam outplaying RRQ, but also from RRQ hesitating.
Greedy. Also greedy.
Greedy, hesitating. It's weird. Sutsujin, while he was at that choke point, he was, I think, able to get like a 4-man Spear of Alpha there. But he hesitated, he waited, and it was like, he doesn't want to go with some of those resources burnt out with Rins. Now they're kind of in a tough spot, man. Again, we gotta remember that RRQ kind of need the first few turtles. It's a Juicin Alpha.
Yeah.
They get outscaled by the Kimmy, even the Harriet. The only lane that RRQ has to play with in the later stage, I guess, is where the CC outscales the Phobias. But even then, it's both XP laners aren't really the best in late game anyways.
It's not a 1v1 for that EXP, but you mentioned it. 2 big resources was used already. So maybe perhaps that's why Alpha also Sutsujin looking for a pick.
Uh-oh. In the bottom, oh, good flicker from Gobs. Now against 3, doesn't tear. Sutsujin gonna be taken very low. Gobs is going wild. 3 members. And now Maykits is in for the cleanup. Wants to jump in. Will be able to go for the Soul Sever. Taunted out by Edok. But he's gonna go for the Quella.
That's going to Rudong! Finding the best crack.
Maykits is unkillable. Dyron can't get to him up top. Kenzie.
A
Soloed.
little too aggressive. No purifying. Yeah, Toy was able to find the solo. That's big for RRQ, considering Toy will be crucial entering the mid, entering the late game. So perhaps that's their only saving grace for now. Still though, 1,500 gold lead secured by Geek Fam. Second turtle is up. Geek Fam has the momentum, but Alpha, remember, with the Spear of Alpha, can definitely turn things around.
Good take there, Rins. Uh-oh. So low as we get the fight started. He has already used the Crimson Beacon earlier. A boy wants to go for the chase again. Ida holding on to the turtle. Sutsujin. Oh, pin down! Beloyski with a set. No follow-up yet. Ida looking for the taunt again. Sutsujin still on the turtle. Making the color. Toy won't be able to get in close. Beloyski with a pin. Spear of Alpha.
That's beautiful. Still, Geek Fam though will suffer Beloyski.
Uh-oh. Toy obliterated by the Synchro Fission. RRQ forced to run away again. This is looking like a stompy stomp. The Kingslayers are eating up the Kings of Kings. Oh, my lord, Rins.
Hey, Geek Fam, they were able to find the right angles, pressing the right button in that second turtle taken. RRQ again being in the back foot. Oh, my lord. Suyo, 1,500 gold lead. That's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign when you go Spear of Alpha and you get out-traded in the 2v1. Maykits! He is Sasuke in this game, man. Unkillable, 3-0-3. I'm not talking about the guy who ran from the Leaf Village early. I'm talking about late game Sasuke, man. Like when he was Shadow Hokage and stuff.
Yeah, keep in mind as well, Maykits level 11, Sutsujin level 8. 3-level difference.
Oh.
6 minutes in, almost 7 though. Let's see RRQ, they are just playing for Toy. That's going to be the script for RRQ.
Who's gonna get to a boy? I think, oh, Lancer Flare. Spear of Alpha flicker out, Sutsujin, no Spear of Alpha! Gobs! Jumped into the bag, Maykits with the chase, Sutsujin, gun down, a boy! Gets a Sky Piercer, RRQ are in shambles!
My, oh my, Geek Fam. Their execution on this game has been almost flawless. And Kenzie, sure, he was taken down earlier with the solo, but seems like farm-wise, not too shabby, not too behind if you compare it to Toy. So let's see. It's going to be Geek Fam now with the mid-prio. As the inner turret bottom side has been taken down.
Oh, this is not going to be a win. A Purify out already. 2v1. Edok is once again in a position where he has nothing to say about the game. You put him on a Gato Gacha again. This goes against everything that we've been talking about. RRQ strengths. They basically said, nah, we don't need it in the playoffs. And they really do. turtle, perfect for Geek Fam. Oh, this is gonna be tougher as we get into the mid game.
Jakarta International Velodrome is silent, ladies and gentlemen, knowing that, again, minute 8, RRQ behind 5,000. Let's see, 2 items for Toy. Once he gets the 3rd item, I feel like, okay, RRQ can definitely get creative, and I think they need to get that creative play ASAP. Geek Fam, all they need to do is just stay solid, keep it tight. They should enter the late game later on with a healthy foundation.
Sigani, I don't even think so. I think 3 items still. RRQ won't be able to really do much. This is a tanky lineup again. Now that they're so far ahead, even tankier for Beloyski and Gobs. You jump around like that, Gobs is going to shoulder bash you. Gobs is going to displace you. You're going to have to use skill 2 for someone, one of the CCs, and they have overwhelming CC, as Shepard pointed out. Fraction Pulse, Immobilization Field with skill 2 of the Kimmy again, and then Make Kids with a Blade Surge, Phoveus with almost everything in his kit. Last but not least, with the Badang. 1 skill 2 from 1-1, you try to fly and then you die. Beloyski up top, Traction Pulse over the range, he doesn't go for the Crimson Beacon, he does in the end, but he loses a lot of HP, and RRQ can't even trade with the Alpha, now they go on to Gob, 2-man Dark Wave. That's it.
RRQ trying to position themselves very, very carefully. Also as Geek Fam, same. But the mid here, at least RRQ, they have cleared their wave. So as it stands, 9 minutes in, even though they're behind 6,000 gold, their mid turret still stands.
5,000 gold lead, Lord #1 spawning into Land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen. The Fallen Kings might fall even deeper. Heck, they, the AOG just to defend a turret that will fall anyways. Geek Fam, they put RRQ in a position very desperate already in the 10th minute of the game.
All Geek Fam needs to do is just stay strong, you know, don't blunder, don't overextend, and let's see here, it's okay, eventually the mid turret falls, RRQ now, trying to defend.
Oh, Gobs! They get with the Dark Wave, Beloyski with the eat! Crossbow up tank, 3 items, win cons all around, but it does not matter! The Kingslayers are on the Kingdom doors.
Geek Fam again applying more pressure with the Lord relatively healthy in the bottom side, and it seems like it's going to be 8,000 gold lead already. RRQ, is this it for game 2?
They're not even knocking on the gates of the Kingdom. They are barging in. Base turret taking down the boy up top, flying away already. Edok, chunk to half.
Oh my god. Lord touches the bottom side of the turret. RRQ now, they can hit the reset button. But Geek Fam, they are satisfied already. Almost 10k gold lead and mid turret cracked. All they need to do now is just keep, again, just don't blunder, don't overextend, especially for Beloy and as well as Gobs, their frontliners. But Ken Ziski, I'm sure his farm is already great. Heading towards the late game, Harith, full item. That's a nasty, nasty Harith.
The Phoveus this season for Gobs has been tremendous. Yeah, this is his favorite pick in the regular season. He does really well on it, and you finally get to see it here in the playoffs because for some reason, we haven't seen it. Real-time victory rate, the opposite of the audience prediction. Samsung Galaxy S25 series brings you this 77 to 23% of RRQ. I'd go as far as to say that it's more 85 to 90%. Looking at, again, RRQ's composition that needs to win early. This is a Geek Fam outscaling composition already. That's winning in the early game. Now a pin down onto Edok and AOG defensively. Gob has Flicker into
the jungles of RRQ. Keep in mind, Miracle, yesterday it was RRQ and Onyx 85 to 15, the AI prediction.
Yep.
And it was 15. Onyx finds the comeback. So, perhaps will it be the same story here for RRQ? Will they find the angle for a comeback?
Are we talking about the Tigreal, Edok. Is that the game?
That was that was Onyx defending. The 15%.
Oh, traction pulse up, boy! What? Curtain call on him, flicker out again, no damage, Dr. Flare coming down as well in the back line! Geek Fam crumbling! 15% is all RRQ needs, Geek Fam! What was that? Tyrant caught by the Dark Wave, now they go all in, taunt from Edok!
That's going to be RRQ collapsing onto his Gavs. 3 members of Geek Fam down.
Oh, no. Oh boy, and Kenziski with a massive blunder. RRQ are back alive. Their hopes grow by the second. That win rate probability is going down slowly but surely for Geek Fam and is rising toward the kingdom.
Can we smell remontada in Game 2? They were behind, what, almost 10K? They have cut it down to half. Sure, Pariah, it's still Geek Fam, but that was a warning sign. Geek Fam cannot do the same.
Prince! Oh no! Back to back, it was a boy, and it almost seemed like it was destined to happen to Rins.
Hey, yesterday Rins did the same with the Selena against Onyx. Being in the mid, overextending, got punished. And it seems like that habit, right? That staying in the mid habit needs, again, it's just cutting all the momentum that RQ is trying to look for.
And just like that, the chance of a comeback grows slimmer. It grew because of a boy, now it gets slimmer because of Rins. And it's the opposite teams, ladies and gentlemen. 5,000 gold leads still for Geek Fam. And again, if we go back to the drawing board for Geek Fam, for RRQ, it's still RRQ at a disadvantage. They've lost a mid lane base turret. They're a composition, and again, plays more early to mid. They'll, traction pulse, Rins. Not again, right? Okay, he gets away this time, but yeah, RRQ are going to get outscaled. Oh no, spotted. Edok with a taunt, stops to cancel already. Dark Wave to cancel it out one more time. Crack! Edok playing in a position where it's more Tigreal than Gapdot, you know?
Geek Fam does not give the time for Edok to hit that AOG. Oh my goodness, the chain CC was tremendous.
No,
it was too much.
Realistically, Gani, what would the Gapdot do with a flank? Like, that's a Tigreal move.
Yeah, it's tough. 5v4 now. 10 seconds though for Edok.
Without Edok, I don't know, Sutsujin with the Spear of Alpha. Oh, whoa, Winter Crowd. Crossbow time popped in, Arable, let's keep the flicker out. Oh boy, gonna be locked. Oh no, Toy in the back, Gobs!
That is Gobs doing work.
Winter Crown from Gobs, tanking the turret again. Now, turn not tanked properly. A boy falls. Somehow now mid lane, make it. Blunder over blunder, RRQ. Slowly, Kenziski with his man force already. Jumping back and forth over to Sutsujin. Spear of Alpha, but Kenzi's still free.
He is dancing in the dance floor. He finds a double, but couldn't find the connection for that third kill. Tyrant shutting him down.
So slow from Geek Fam, and then it turns out it was just the calm before the storm. They decided to dive in all the way without getting the base turret. And it costed them. RRQ again have another chance at coming back in this game. Geek Fam gotta be careful. They did this against Onyx. Kyrie got a Maniac and it was over.
My goodness, my goodness. Now RRQ, they suddenly have Pariah. Is this a big gamble though?
Traction pulse, immobilization, a dive into the bag as the boy is able to reposition, but God's gonna be engaged on crossbow tag. We'll be ready, make it!
That's going to be Make It connecting on towards the Lord, but that's gonna be Toy actually surviving Sutsujin.
Uh-oh, blunder AOG, Make is locked down, you get the Lord, but Toy gets the shutdown. Sutsujin able to survive, 3 members down, only Kenzie and Beloy left to deal with RRQ.
The Lord is going to be irrelevant as RRQ. They have committed 4 bodies in the mid. And yeah, the push will not come to fruition. 10 seconds on Gobs. RRQ looking to get what they can.
They can get the tier 2, I think, maximum. Maybe a base turn maximum actually now.
Yeah.
But Geek Fam have proper avenues to keep this game alive. Kenzie's got to be careful though. Base turret in the mid lane falling, a wave in the bottom lane for Geek Fam to play with. They played slow, but RRQ have dealt with everything. Now it's more of an even game. It's down to even. It's just the outscale. It's just, again, those little mistakes that can turn the game around one more time.
Boys, gotta remind you guys, back at home, this is just game 2 and we are 18 minutes in. Luckily for RQ, the Lord will spawn in the bottom side of the map because far lane, they still have a turret. Let's see, RQ, can they complete the comeback from a 9,000 gold lead?
You'd really be thinking that RRQ will be in the position where GeekFam was, and then GeekFam would be the ones to pull up a comeback. As you know, we got to 16, 15 minutes, but it's the opposite. It's GeekFam with the early game, RRQ with the late game. Despite the very contradicting compositions. Let's take a look at the items here. Full items for Toy, he's gone. Berserker's Fury, Rose Gold Meteor. Everybody's at full at this point. Really comes down to how they position, how they're able to play the far lane, and how they'll eventually item swap for the outplays.
All right. It's going to be RQ now. Just holding on. They have the gold lead. Some say at this point, gold lead does not matter.
Irrelevant.
Winner crowns, though, will be one of the key factors here, especially if you're a Geek Fam. Considering you're going up against a 1-1 who is fed already. So, seems like a boy does not care. He went for the penetration item. Let's see, with this Divine Glaive, can he do damage? Oh, that's a concealed play.
But it's onto a boy who has to be careful, will be able to just get out. Valoisky caught the current call already. Traction pulls over the Tyrant. Valoisky tried to go over the pin. Lantern Flare zones him back. 17 seconds for the Evolved Lord. Conceal. Valoisky jumps in to Jin, all in over to the back, Rins with a Crimson Beacon.
BBB, and that's going to be the collapse by both teams.
Toy now coming into the entrance of Jin Mortality getting top. No, he gets away. Valoisky now caught in the top spot. AOG
locking a boy down, and that's going to be Jakarta International Velodrome roaring.
Silence to the loudness that we would expect from an RRQ game. Blade Surge, a taunt landed. Makeit's the only hope of a steal goes down. RRQ don't go for the Lord. They will try to go for the end right here, right now.
They have Harith. Can Kenzie pull a defense?
No Purify.
Shaman Force is online though, is active.
Gobs needs to do some crazy stuff. Kenzie jumping back and forth. No Purify all the way to the back of the camp, but the mini waves will not be utilized. Gobs can deal with it. That was a mistake. Gobs jumps in all the way onto 5. Crossbow attacking him with a crown, and he saved the game.
He got the clear. Toy RRQ, they wipe Geek Fam out, but they don't have minions. A boy, Valoy is up.
Uh-oh. Let's see, a boy with a traction pulse. Initiation in the back. Valoisky with a fist crack already. RRQ goes straight for the base, and somehow the Kingdom equalizes. They stabilize in a best of 7. The Kingslayers pushed back.
They were behind by a lot in this game.
9,000.
9,000 gold lead from the side of Geek Fam, but the Kings of Kings, they were able to find an angle to not just neutralize, but they have equalized in this best of 7.
Alter Ego versus BTR, a generational throw. That was pretty astronomical, my friends. 9,000 gold lead. A boy decides to walk towards RRQ, flying past the wall, saying, hey, what's up, yo? He's caught in the wrong neighborhood, got popped instantly. Shepin, oh, I can already feel the aura of the billion face palms that he is currently expressing. Probably, I can see the smile on Arashi's face, laughing at Shepin.
But yeah, I mean, what a showing from RRQ. They were unfazed, and this was perhaps the real turnaround, right? For RRQ, the real foundation built. It was 20 minutes in, folks. This catch on towards a boy. That was very, very expensive.
There's no real reason for Geek Fam to really be in that position there. Makeit's, I would say at this point, he tried, right? He had to try to do something there. The main mistake was, why would you fight with the conceal there when you have the far lane? Well, not far lane, but you have so much more to play with. Wave down below was pushing in. Time was with them, but RRQ wasn't. They wanted to fight, and now we're going to send it over to the panel to dissect
that. I don't know. What was that game? Because RRQ was still able to turn things around after Geek Fam were stomping on their face. It's a 1-1 now equalizer. But I can't really process what was going on in that match, in that game.
Yeah, I thought it was a 2-0, but when RRQ do the kiting game, when Choi is like always flying at the right place, at the right time, and like Idok, oh my god, the AOG, man. He got a lot of momentum using the AOG.
Yeah.
That's when RRQ got come back.
And Mirko was saying this again and again, like, they have the early game composition, but they took it to the late game and won. Look, I'm all for RRQ winning, right? But to quote a certain caster from Indonesia, what the heck did we just watch?
Yeah.
What was that?
You know what's that, Arashi? I'm sorry, no disrespect. That was a mid-off between Aboy
Mid-off?
and also Mr. Rince. Yes, they're mid laner for the first part, but they were mid throughout the whole game. Rince was throwing in the early game, but Aboy said, I could do better.
That's why it's the battle of mid.
The better.
It's the battle of mid.
Yeah.
Look, there's a very wondrous look on Mirko's face as he passes by here. He was doing the same way we are. Man, it's just Geek Fam, they didn't have to do a lot of those crazy plays. They had to play it calculated, and I understand they want to get a bit of an advantage, a bit of a guarantee, instead of risking it against RRQ.
I think, yeah.
But brother, every single time RRQ were 50-50 for a Lord,
Yeah.
the history is they don't do so well. So why was Geek Fam concerned about that, going for a fight, and then getting counter-engaged by Adok? Polios, please shed
But,
some
yeah.
some knowledge.
But RRQ put a good bait for Geek Fam. They always took the bait, and like even like Alpha from Sutsujin is not like starting the momentum. You just wait until Geek Fam is coming, and using the skill of Alpha.
Counter-engage, basically.
Yeah.
But obviously, the follow-up behind that is Edok, the player of the game presented by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Edok with the Gatot Kacha. At this point, I'm inclined to tell and call him Edok Kacha or Gatot Edok because he has been consistently playing this hero to its best. Sometimes, you know, he has to stay off, but on this match, I think he landed 2 or 3 clutch AOG.
I gotta give a shout out to Dairon though, because a lot of this damage that you're seeing, yes, it's Toy, but Dairon was doing a ton of damage, and that first shutdown onto a boy, followed by Kenziski, was started by Dairon showing up behind the Kimi somehow, some way, and then shredding her down. And that was the story of the game. In the late game, Mirko mentioned it. The only late game angle for RRQ is that the CC is going to be way more dangerous than the Phobias.
Yeah.
And right here, if you look at how these fights were going, when RRQ were able to spread the fights apart, there was less security and less safety for Kenziski and Aboy to output the damage. And when it's like just 5 different 1v1s, man, that CC definitely brought in a ton of value, especially with the curtain call kind of getting the damage shared upon 2 people.
But look at this. This is the final curtain call that kind of seals the game, right? Oh, Aboy trying to get away, Kenzie.
Bang!
Unfortunately, he got tied down. That's just how it is, man.
Yeah, this one.
Let him walk back.
Maybe just to see. I don't even know, man.
And even the end sequence here, man, the fact that the wave was cleared and they were waiting for it. We were looking at the death timers. Oh, it's only a boy, no burst damage, probably can clear that easily. With 5 members on the board, funny enough, with all these fighters, they can tank some aggro, they can do a lot of bursty amounts of damage. It kind of worked out towards the end sequence.
Yeah, and I think it's still the same issue from Geek Fam when facing against Onyx. They almost win the game, they control the early game, but Onyx can get comeback because of the miscalculation.
Yeah, miscalculation to this place by Geek Fam. And I think,
Oh, dude,
the way they were able to close the game out, was it Rashi?
you realize 0 deaths on
Yeah.
Diamond? My
As a
guy,
CC.
in a game like that, considering his positioning, diving in the backline and all that, that's what I'm telling you. Like, you gotta give a shout out to him. Look at the damage, dude. He did almost as much damage as the 1-1. Dude.
60K for the CC. I think Aboy was ahead of him, and also Kanjiski. I mean, that is what we expect from a late game Harith. But the CC, why was it able to work in a composition that has so much catch, so much dive? I mean, in the Phobias, in the Kimi, and also in the Barang.
Yeah, as long as you're, you know, putting the trap in the right place. If Geek Fam you know, gonna step into that, and it's an easy punish, man. There's not much punish instead of maybe just Genziski going into as a Man-Force full-on combo on towards Tyron. And if he builds that Radiant Armor and the Oracle, it's gonna help him to sustain the fight even longer. And there's a lot of juicy targets as well. As Arashi mentioned earlier, Gobs is on a, you know, Phoveus. It's gonna fall off, like it or not, against ACC. Even Beloyski, there's a moment in the top lane where we got chased down towards the inner turrets with a single curtain call combo on towards Beloyski. It was like almost a single combo solo kill to a Badang with an anti-cuirass.
I don't know what to say.
Oh boy.
That was a game, obviously.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think we probably have to like get some more insight onto this match, man, because the early game by RRQ, it really wasn't the way to go, man.
Yeah.
But then the late game from Geek Fam, so hey, I guess it's a perfect match, dude, somehow.
Do we get Cascute here? You know, interview him?
Cascute?
Yeah.
I would love that, dude, because I have no idea.
Fair enough,
Usually I
man.
can kind of see the vision, kind of,
Yeah.
the intentions. But right now, this match so far, I'm just drawing blanks.
That's why if I'm being RRQ, I think I'm not satisfied with this
Yeah, for sure.
game.
Yeah,
Even though
yeah.
RRQ is winning, but they need to fix the early game because from the first game and the second game, they always lost on the early game.
Yeah, it's what we call an ugly win, basically. I mean, a win
Slugfest.
is still, yeah, it's slugfest, snooze fest, you know.
I don't think that's a snoof.
It wasn't, yeah, obviously, because the action for, you know,
Back and
it was, yeah, back and forth. There was constant action happening in the Land of Dawn for that one. That's 1-1 now for RRQ against Geek Fam. At least RRQ were able to fight back. For Geek Fam, though, I think they have to learn to stop and try to just close out the games. Chef Fam, this is your team.
I don't know, man. I'm still wondering about that boy moment. It reminds me of that. I think it's less worse than Susujin's dive towards the bottom lane there. You know, I gotta throw some jabs first before I wanna kind of like criticize my team here. But like,
sure.
again, like when you got the traction pull is so like a really good punish towards the I guess, dashing heroes of RRQ. So when Susujin is getting caught, that should be like, I guess that was a bait, you know. But I don't think that was a big bait towards a boy. He could have just played it safe, man. I'm just still baffled. I don't understand.
And you're seeing that being a common pattern, by the way, for RRQ. Just saying, so far, a lot of times whenever they draft up a composition, everyone seems to have some kind of dash, right? And we talked about the importance of distance management, especially with when Onyx was giving a masterclass in doing that. RRQ, they seem to have a more aggressive style where they don't really keep you at distance. They let you get close, and then they just jump out like, yo, what's up? Get away from me, bro. I can't let you get close.
Surprise.
So, I don't know, man.
So in a way, that's not really a good plan either, right?
It's like a reactive, like immediate. Instead of like, oh, I'm concerned about cold use. Instead of keeping my distance, I'm like, hey, and you're like, what just happened?
You gotta be nonchalant.
What's that about?
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
It's just
about that.
confusing,
They
bro.
play very reactive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost too reactive.
Uh-huh.
They don't have any engages.
And what's the objective?
I don't know. The objective is
Right?
to win.
I guess.
I guess they can figure it out later on. But as of now, we're gonna catch our breath because outdoor, there'll be Alyssa waiting for us. Alyssa, what's up?
Melaporkan langsung dari FPL Festival, mana suaranya?
Wih, ramai banget ya ternyata di festival ya. Ini
Luar
berasa di rumah
biasa.
saya sendiri loh ini, ramainya kayak gini.
Oh iya.
Iya. Alisa,
Oke,
tumben datang ke sini ada apa ini?
Iya dong, kita mampir karena di sini lagi rame ya. Dan juga pastinya nggak kita berdua aja, nggak
Ya.
hanya ada Alisa dan Kak Gio, tapi ada juga...
Mas Ade.
Wow, halo.
Mas Ade, apa kabar, gimana live streamnya?
Wah, seru banget di belakang, deg-degan sih.
Oh.
Takutnya,
Oh, bohong cenah.
tadi pas kalah pada diem semua ini pas balik. Wah. Berisik banget, sumpah berisik banget.
Mas Ade, hari ini udah makan apa nih?
Hari ini tadi nyemil-nyemilnya sambil minum good day.
Saya minum good day yang ngerasa apa tuh Mas Ade?
Yang tiramisu bliss.
Tiramisu bliss. Oke, Mas Ade, aku pengen tanya-tanya dulu nih sebelum
Ya.
kita balik ke penonton nih ya. Kan
oke.
ini kita sudah melihat nih antara RRQ dan Geek Fam. Hari ini
Betul.
perebutan satu slot terakhir, tapi
Oke.
menurut Mas Ade sendiri, kenapa sih RRQ kemarin bisa kalah melawan Onyx?
kenapa RRQ bisa kalah sama Onyx?
Yes, padahal kan dia juara regular season.
Ya karena mainnya lebih bagus aja jauh sih. Lumayan jauh GP. Kaget aja sih surprisingly Onyx mainnya bisa kayak gitu sih. Kembalinya God Suns kayaknya. Serem banget pitnya kemarin.
Benar-benar.
Ya,
Suns
betul,
ya.
betul.
Yang jadi
Jarang
poin.
sih punya ngelihat player kayak gitu bisa konsisten tiap season gitu, jarang banget.
Oke, tapi kalau ngelihat prediksi skornya nih hari ini RRQ dan Geek Fam berapa sih Mas Ade?
Prediksi skor, waduh prediksi skor. Prediksi skor kayaknya kalau dari gameplay tadi ya, kalau ada blunder-blunder gini tadinya kirain bakalan bisa kayak 4-2 Geek Fam.
Oh.
Bahkan nggak ngeliat RRQ bisa menang karena dilihat dari gameplay ya. RRQ tadi beberapa kali memang karena drive juga kan, dia bukan tipikal yang harus cari orang kan. Agak-agak berat di awal, agak struggling juga. Cuma pada akhirnya itu juga dari kalahnya karena kesalahan Geek Fam ya. Kesalahan Geek Famnya sendiri. Jadi ya kalau dilihat sih kalau misalnya Geek Fam nanti setelah ini dia kayak gitu lagi bisa malah bisa kebalik skornya.
Oh.
Malah bisa RRQ yang menang.
Wow, oke.
Oke.
Boleh, silakan Kak Gio.
Mas Ade, tadi kan Make It dikasih Suyo first pick tuh.
Betul.
Tiba-tiba ke comeback gamenya. Apa yang terjadi tadi tuh game kedua kalau menurut Mas Ade?
Wah itu Suyonya juga mainnya udah bagus kan si Make It. Cuma tadi ada gerakan dari Aboy sih, beberapa kali dia blunder kan kalah akhirnya. Balonnya juga udah bagus kan, semuanya udah bagus. Cuma tadi ada mungkin adrenalin rush gak sih? Karena dia udah ngerasa bahwa udah 10k gold different. Jadi dia mau coba-coba lagi, mau extend lagi. Cuma akhirnya malah blunder. Itu yang fatal sih, karena dia yang dapatnya akhirnya dapat 2. Dapat Aboy sama dapat si Kenziski juga si Toy-nya akan dapat. Jadinya itu fatalnya di situ aja sih.
Wow.
Oke, kita akan lihat ya. Di game ketiga nanti akankah terjadi reverse sweep sesuai prediksi Mas Ade? Kita nggak tahu. Tapi Mas Ade aku mau ajak Mas Ade kita coba tes ombak di sini karena kayaknya udah rame banget ya. Mas Ade mau manggil Kingdom atau Geek Fam Unity nih?
Coba. Mana Geek Fam, suaranya Geek Fam?
Oke.
Ada.
Asalnya aku ya.
Coba.
Kingdom ada suaranya. Oke.
Biasa tadi udah begitu tuh.
Begitu
di
ya?
belakang, iya.
Oke. Nanti kita yang menunggu-nunggu dan mereka semua semangat sekali melihat permainan ini karena ini satu slot terakhir. Thank you so much Mas Ade.
Makasih,
Silakan
Mas.
boleh dilanjutkan. Thank you so much.
Itu live chatnya gak berhenti-berhenti ya?
Betul, jadi kita live-nya dua sisi ya. Dua sisi. Oke. Kak Gio, kalau kita sudah berdua di sini, kita mau juga bagi sesuatu yang seru nih untuk teman-teman yang ada di MPL Festival. Dan pasti yang nonton ya, para superfans yang ada di dalam Jakarta International Velodrome juga. Jadi boleh kita agak mikir sedikit ya, karena kita di sini mau BBG bagi-bagi GoPay.
Tapi kayaknya kalau misalnya kita mau BBG, kita kasih tahu mereka kasih
Betul.
human wave dulu.
Human wave dulu. Kalau mau ditampilin barcode-nya, boleh ya. Kita human wave dulu. Kita coba dari yang paling belakang ke yang paling depan. Dan nanti begitu pun sebaliknya. Oke, kita coba tes ombak dulu ya. Yang dari belakang sudah siap?
Yang depan udah siap? Wih, kalau begitu. 1, 2, 3. Tangannya begini semua.
Ini yang belakang mohon maaf kemana? Yang belakang dulu ayo. 1, 2, 3. Enggak kompak. Karena QR-nya udah ditampilin Kak Gio. Mereka nggak ada yang peduli.
Langsung keluarin handphone semua.
Betul. Ya udah nggak apa-apa. Langsung di scan dulu aja QR yang ada di depan. Boleh di scan dulu di aplikasi GoPay langsung aja didapetin hadiahnya karena ada berbagai macam nominal ya yang nantinya bisa didapatkan dari BBG bagi-bagi GoPay.
Aku sih kemarin pernah dapat 20.000 ya.
Oh ya?
Lumayan buat jajan-jajan ya kan. Ada Sukro.
Ada banyak ya. Ada Killa Food juga. Dari kemarin aku nggak berhenti makan seblaknya juga ya. Banyak banget kalian bisa cobain langsung di MPL Festival. Dan pastinya masih nonton di rumah jangan cuma ngambil GoPay-nya aja. Langsung transaksi di MPL Festival. Karena MPL Festival gratis. Kalian bisa langsung datang aja terutama besok karena grand final ya Kak Gio.
Besok sih hari penentu ya.
Betul sekali, kita akan melihat siapa satu lagi perwakilan kita. Alright Kak Gio, sudah cukup sepertinya semua sudah dapat. Ada yang udah dapat boleh dikasih tunjuk? Boleh dikasih tunjuk GoPay-nya yang udah dapat?
Belum.
Sudah ada? Belum?
Belum beruntung.
Belum beruntung. Oh ada yang di belakang tuh, ada yang udah dapat ya.
Mantap.
Mantap sekali.
Kita tes terakhir gak sih sebelum mungkin Alisa mau pergi dari sini ya kan?
Silakan.
Viva RRQ Geek Fam. Buset.
Ya boleh ya, kita ke tengah dulu kali Kak Gio.
Boleh.
dimana kita sudah bagi-bagi GoPay, sudah seru-seruan bareng. Dan langsung saja kita akan melihat ya, kira-kira panelis akan membedah apa lagi untuk game yang ketiga. So panelis, take it over.
And why the hell is an Alter champ shouting Viva RRQ?
Yeah. He's an Alter champ.
What is he doing? By the way, that was Mr. AS, Ade Setiawan, Hyde
Ade
O'Brien, M1 champion, by the way.
Yeah.
And speaking about champion, who is your champion, Arashi?
What?
You predict your champion?
For
Do you know how to predict
season
your champion?
15?
Yes.
For any.
I think the drip says it all, my friend.
I mean, you can do that
Yeah.
on an
Yeah.
app.
On an app.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You know what app? With GoPay, because from watching MPL, Mabar, or playing together, pushing rank, it's all pasti gege on GoPay games. You can also join the MPL GG party by voting for your favorite champion in every MPL ID Season 15 playoff at gopay.co.id/games. You're also guaranteed to win prizes. For first-time voters, you'll definitely get free rewards of up to 59 diamonds and 1 token. And the tokens can be used to spin for prizes. And as of now, the prizes include 5 electric motorbikes, vroom vroom, yeah, 6 smartphones.
It's not vroom vroom because it's electric.
Oh,
More
okay.
like me.
Yeah, it doesn't have sounds actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's very eco-friendly as well.
Yeah, eco-friendly.
Social
Yes, sir.
commentary. You can also earn tokens by topping up games of a minimum 10,000 rupiah, and the tokens can be used immediately for spinning. You can also get a free WDP or a weekly Diamond Pass on GoPay games. Because Colius, usually I would get my WDP from Lim Kocho.
Oh.
You know those challenges he does in
Yeah,
TikTok?
yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna try to get 10 kills with every hero in the alphabet. And he goes a B and he goes boxing and he has to get 10 kills. If he doesn't, he gives a free WDP. And I create like 10 bot accounts to just comment.
Wait, who does this?
Lim Kocho.
I
Lim
see.
Kocho.
Yeah, it's a content.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
We should join.
So you should
Exactly.
just
We should
gang.
join, right?
Exactly.
Plus, on top of that, with the GoPay app, you can also get that free WTP.
free.
Free.
I mean, that's a word that we all here really enjoy, man.
Yes.
Whenever it's free, you know when you get food and it tastes okay, but the same food, when it's free, when someone buys it for you, it just tastes that much better, man.
tastes nice.
Dude, I'm a married man.
Hey.
If I bought WDP by myself, my wife is gonna be angry. But this one is free, right?
Yeah, okay.
Olios, I mean, you know, baby's milk is very, very expensive.
Yeah.
You gotta save up.
That's Caparino.
How would you know?
I don't know. Okay, I was on a grocery store once and I took a peek at the
yeah, we assume it's
at the
expensive.
aisle.
So you're thinking for the future, right?
yeah,
I have
the
kids.
future.
Also, incoming.
No comment.
I'm kidding.
By the way, the previous game recap here: May Kids and Dyren.
Look at that.
This is, I don't know. You usually don't want to compare the jungler with the XP laner, but Dyren's game, that was quite flawless. I'd say he was deathless. He dealt 60k damage. That was just off the roof.
And I think it's really special when you are known to make plays happen, right? You're a playmaker EXP laner.
Yeah.
And then when they put you on some of these CCs, you know, some of these aggressive damage-dealing EXP laners, you can still perform like at such a, I don't know, such a high level. I think it's always an amazing thing to see. We can see that from a lot of the top-tier teams right now, actually. Technically for Onyx, even Ludpi, right? One of the things that makes him special is that factor. He can be a setter, but when he's on those carries, he's still a real threat.
Because I think from the last game, usually we see that Dyren is the initiator.
Yeah.
With Idok. But on the last game, he's the shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like Gigvam didn't notice when Dyren is go to the back line
Yeah.
and give that much of damage, 60k.
It was just attracting noise
Uh-huh.
from Geek Fam. And then that I think was what gave Edok the gateway to just land a 3-man AOG, 2-man AOG
Right.
on Geek Fam.
You gotta say it to my face, man.
I do.
You hear the click on the tongue from Kevin immediately.
On Geek Fam.
You're coming onto my mic too. Oh my god.
You have
on
two
that
ways. man.
on that note, though, I think the fact that Dyren was able to play that EXP damage healer also
Yeah.
is something that's complemented by the fact that Rens is on a Jushin. We've been
Yes.
really critical on the Jushin, but at the end of the day, like when it clicks, it clicks. Unfortunately, in the early game, it was just a mess for them. In the late game, much more use. And Prince, obviously, he's a pro player for a reason, man. He's not gonna make the same mistake maybe like thrice. You know, he made the same mistake twice probably.
Yeah.
I mean, gotta learn at some point.
Hopefully. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
We get that saying wrong a lot on the English desk, by the way. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
We get it mixed up.
You're the one who started it.
Shame on me.
There's a shame all around for everybody.
We hope the drafts aren't a shame because now we are in the draft.
Oh my
phase,
God.
Presented by the official tournament smartphone.
Oh.
Samsung Galaxy S25
Aliyah
series.
is open now.
What is this Faramis band from RRQ?
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm the only Faramis believer out of all the talent desk, man.
I think if we are gonna assume that RRQ are gonna do what they did in the previous game, instead of having a damage-dealing mid lane and a tanky top EXP lane, having just someone that can do a lot of different things all together in every single role, I think the Faramis is a good option because an approach like that earlier can be easily dismantled by using a Faramis. It's almost like they were doing this weird 2-1-2 split that used to be meta.
Holy.
Oh, hey.
Now Chip is coming. And
Fredpin.
Fredpin. Like we said before, that if like the assassin jungler is not working, the fighter jungler is not working, why not using the tank jungler? And now Fredpin is free, they're using it with Chips. So it's gonna be a combo where Chip can like show everywhere he wants to on the early game and using the shortcut.
Aside from being a counter to the Joy Arashi, what does the Fredpin provide to the team, basically? Why would you want to pick it first?
Well, it provides everything that RRQ were able to abuse to get a victory in the second game. It gives you crowd control. Oh, yes. Oh, man, Masha as well. Oh, boy. Masha Chip, man.
Are they pulling an Onyx?
This is a crazy combo. But yes, it gives you front line, it gives you crowd control, and it gives you sustain. Everything that you will want from an EXP laner because you want that damage.
Oh, wow. Even the respect towards the X-Borg EXP, this is something that we haven't really seen very often. The X-Borg EXP, it was debuted, I believe, in MPLPH first, then Gops played it yesterday, and it's a kind of a, I wouldn't say a counter for the Masha, but it does well in the lane, especially when you're trying to kite. Now this is, oh man, this is kind of scary because the Masha, not only it is good on its own, it can burst down all the backliners of GeekFam and pretty much does not care at all from the incoming front-to-back damage. This is also bad news for Beloyski because that's one less target that you could go for on a Kalea. That CC immune once the health bar is disappearing, she has 3. So, it doesn't matter.
But now, what about the Valentina? If Geek want to use Valentina, can copy the shortcut and other maybe useful ultimates?
That's a boy staple as well, right? Valentina. That could be in consideration if they want to ban it out, but as of now, I think RRQ need to close this one out with the Uranus.
Oh my god.
Wow. Behind this?
They just want to play on Tyron. They want to build it on Tyron.
Man, that's a bold move, man, because I think before the Uranus even comes into conversation, usually Esmeralda comes up first, and those are two very similar heroes. But I guess without a lot of shielding heroes, right, there isn't a lot of value to go for Esmeralda for GeekFam, so they go for the Uranus instead, and they go for the Kimi, and that's probably why, right? Against the Kimi, you stack up so fast on the Uranus, now that won't be an issue. But will the Lolita come through, though?
Oh,
I don't think so.
With an EXP Kalea?
I really don't think so.
It was picked up in MPLPH, right?
Yes, sir.
The playoffs, and I think as of now, a lot of people are preaching for the Kimi, you know, or rather for the Lolita pickup against the Kimi. But again, Mirko mentioned it yesterday that MPL ID is very fast, it's brawly, it's high stakes and high tempo, and that Lolita, I don't think it can really match the pressure and the pace of the game.
It's gonna be hard to fit for Lolita, but
I like that better actually. So they want to be a bit more reactive here. They're playing, I guess, like taking a page of RRQ's book, especially with the chip. This is gonna be a fully like all-in team fight kind of fight from Cascade and crew. So you want to just respond with these two heroes. I was thinking something like a Badang because they want to just respond with the stunts. But I think this works better, especially Beloyski is most likely going to go to Kalea.
That's what I want to say before. Carry might be the answer, because when you're facing against like Suyo and Terizla, the speedy light whale from Kari is very good. Because they have the passive when it can be blown and can give the opponents true damage. So Teresa cannot be too sustainable on the front line, especially during the late game.
Makes sense, but now it'll all come down to this game in which they will able to get a point off of each other's back. And now it's up to Gun and Mirko to walk us through. So casters, take it away.
Thank you so much, panel. We're going to dive straight into the Land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen, for our third game of this series. Remember, this usually is a battle for match point, but we have a whole best of 7 to deal with here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 3.
5 seconds. Let's see which team. Will it be Geek Fam or will it be RRQ that takes the advantage?
Juicin and Terizla are pretty good.
Yeah.
I think those picks really seal the deal for me in terms of how I am comfortable with Geek Fam's draft. I like RQ's draft even more though. Masha, Chip, we're starting to finally see a bit more of the Keskyun we know. Took a bit of warming up from them. Could have been a Geek Fam 2-0 had a boy not done those 2 back-to-back plays, but here we are, a boy on a signature pick on a Juicin finally. He's able to pick it up. It's not Rins who snatches it away from him.
Yeah, it's like throwing a 10,000 gold lead in a lower bracket finals. Must have hit hard for a boy, but let's see here the reset from them.
Oh man, Beloyski doing a lot of damage already over to Edok. Wants to go for the chase here. Emblems, nothing too crazy, honestly. Everything seems quite normal. Sutajin has gone for the tank emblem. Edok now the crash course. Beloyski forced to flicker out. Doesn't want to give a first blood over to RQ. Oh! Good save, Mackenzie. Synchro Vision to secure the gold crab.
Great awareness there. Sure, and Beloyski, yeah, burnt his flicker, but at least RQ do not have an advantage, a real advantage going on to the first turtle. But it's going to be Makeits though, almost level 5. Susujin is slightly behind EXP-wise.
That's the advantage of having the Suyo when you're up against the Bredgen. You clear so much faster, and Susujin has gone for the Impure Rage instead of the Concussive Blast, which means that his clear speed will be affected negatively. It's going to be a disadvantage even more so than it is, or... Oh, wait. He's not going to go for the turtle. He's actually going to read the fact that Suyo might be on the orange buff. A take from Maykid to the red tree, and he finds it. Immobilization, though. Maykid's gun down, Soul Sever. Can he run? Edok comes in, first blood to RRQ.
Great read from the Kings of Kings. They identify that, hey, Makekids is not on the map. So perhaps there's a chance that they are, or he is, on the orange. Still though, Makekids claimed the orange. Let's see. Gold, it has gone either way, so it's still a 50-50. Turtle, still practically untouched.
And this is actually a tough lane, quite underrated, the carry versus the Harith. It's a skill matchup in the end, but I've heard even from Kelra that carry is a good pick into the Harith. You're able to dodge away from the Synchro Fissions, and if you get as many hits as we would like here for Toy to get, then yeah, he actually wins out of the all-ins. Maykits gets the turtle, despite the late start to it. Good Purify out from Rins. Nothing too crazy happening in the early game. RRQ just stabilizing, waiting for their carries. Literally a carry and the Kimmy. Technically even the Masha to get to the item power spikes. And for Geek Fam, it definitely is more of a... Yeah, that's just going to be a crash course. Definitely no further initiations.
And both teams just again, just touching and going, perhaps triggering spells here and there. 4 minutes in, just to kill. Very, very different if you compare it to our second game, where it was quite action-packed. 2K gold lead, remember, 3 minutes outside of Geek Fam, and this time around it's just 500 gold between them. So we get to see a different approach here, not just by one team, but both.
This is very Geek Fam-like, like the slow playstyle, macro builds. RRQ, usually they're the ones to control the first few neutral objectives, so might be a point of comfort that we might have to bring up very, very soon. Azure Blade done for the Harith, so you can expect him to maybe join in some more team fights if they get it going. Kenzie No Purify, lockdown, good flicker out from the taunt of Sutsujin.
That was the first threat in this game towards Kenzie.
Yep.
Calmly done. Flicker out. Ida. Ooh, cheeky position here. 30 seconds on towards the next neutral objective, and I don't think that GeekFam is aware of the whereabouts of this ship unless VBB shares an opinion.
Voloisky has said, I think, in the past season that Edok reminds him of a younger version of himself, right? So, yeah, he might be able to try to read Edok here. Sutsujin in the bush, a boy spots him, a taunt over. Now second skill should be, no.
Uh-oh.
Just poke.
Uh-oh. Make it.
Should be good. Good check. Finds Edok. Really good macro awareness from Maykids here. And Edok is kind of in a tough spot already. Orange buff being taken slowly but surely. Sutsujin trying to go on the turtle, but boy, Voloisky and Gobs are in position.
Great read again. It seems like GeekFam, they're aware that, hey, it's been a hot minute that we haven't seen a Beloy or Edok on the map, and it seems like a great sniff. GeekFam second turtle, very free, like the first one.
And I think this is another underrated aspect of the Suyo's game. Hold up, Sutsujin going into the bottom lane. They know that Edok was last seen top side. They want to get a turret, but Tyron and Sutsujin. Oh, Crash Course shortcut finally. Big play into the top lane. Kenzie, good night to the Harith. You're not running. Oh, Rinse. Careful there. Tsunami Slam over to the Masha. Thunderclap's ready. Should just be a turret traded here. Good flicker out from Dyron.
Not enough damage just yet here. Apparently, comes out of GeekFam, right? It's evident Kenzie should be able to read that one out, but that's going to be the inner turret. Quite low. Oh boy.
Slow again. For RRQ, they want to utilize this macro control. To go back to the point that I was making, Suyo is an underrated part of Suyo's game is the fact that you technically have two flickers.
Yeah.
That's why it's a very good pick when you're up against the chip. Whenever the chip wants to crash course on you, you can just blink, you can dash, and it's very hard to catch a Suyo. As long as you time it properly, obviously, you can't just be using the skill 1 in enemy jungle. Tsunami Slam over, Sutsujin gets a 3-man taunt, no Purify in the back, but Gobs is able to find a penalty zone.
That's gonna be GeekFam though, finding a collapse.
Okay, with, Maykids, one last snipe or one last slash of the sword. Now a dive from Voloisky. Gobs with the hammer. It's a win. A big one for the Kingslayers. Dyron will get a bit of compensation with a turret in the mid lane.
It looked good for RRQ for a second with Sutsujin taunting 3 members, but the recovery, man. Kenzie, great contribution there, played a huge part. And now GeekFam, suddenly they're up 3,500 gold lead, while the turtle is up. RRQ, 0 chance to at least contest.
Give me the item builds, Connie. Why would RRQ take that fight? I don't think they've hit no. So far away from it. Toy, second item has just been built up. That's quite far away from the 3-item power spikes that you would want to wait for before you go for a fight like that. Dyron as well. I think he's just probably has the Heptases and that's it, right? Rins, especially mid lane, you know, he hasn't been getting a lot of resources. Now a trade, tier 2 for tier 2. GeekFam sticking together, and again, Maykids walking in. Usually as a jungler, you'd be careful, but Lois is going to be engaged on the crash course and the shortcut. Kenzie's able to flicker out the safety. Tsunami Slam knocking them down. Kenzie still kiting Gobs in the midst of it all.
That's going to be Fredrin though, taking down Edok. Isolated. 2 for 1 again. Kenzie claiming the gold. Oh my goodness, RRQ, they got to hit the reset button.
Uh-oh, Thunderclap! A few big smacks from Tamasha. And it is a killing spree for Dyron. GeekFam, Kenzie's gotta be a bit more aware. You're very vulnerable, even with the Zaman Force against Tamasha. You deal damage to her, you give her a free reset.
That was definitely on the awareness there. Kenzie, a little bit autopilot after that double. And yeah, great compensation at least, right, Dyron? Got that kill. Again, just decreasing the momentum from GeekFam. And still though, 40 seconds on the next neutral objective. Seems like RRQ, they got to be wiser here when choosing fights. Okay, so it's a glass cannon build for Dyron.
So yeah, they decided to take that fight with Toy not even having second item and BOD not done yet by Dyron. The fight up top. Now that they have these items, Beloyski looking for the Tsunami Slam, walks up forward, gets a Tsunami Slam, now for the follow-up too. Will it be enough? Demand Force over. Yeah, Dyron, assassinated with the Katon of Make-Kids.
That's going to be the glass cannon build for you. Sure, almost finds an angle there for an escape, but Geek Fam was able to, was quick to respond, and Dyron with BOD with Heptases.
Whoa.
Very low on that AHP. Very easy to shred down. Bottom side though, will still be two members in the bottom side. So Geek Fam, I'm sure they're aware of this, right? With Timmy showing, can they blitz this?
I think the better answer is they have to. He's up in the back with the Crash Course, and the shortcut thunder clap of the Crash Course, finding him in the back line as Rinz is able to count away. Gops goes into the penalty zone on the Toy, but he shreds him down, Dyron.
Great Purify by Toy Dyron! Very low, taken down again. But will that play be enough for RRQ to perhaps find a counterplay?
2 for 1, Sutsujin, looking for the taunt, a boy with the Crimson Beacon, off angle. Lantern Flare on him, Sutsujin trying to hold on. 4 levels down though, Make-Kids has an advantage. Jumps in with the taunt, now Rinz with the mobilization. Beloyski coming in as well, but a boy flickers out, the same thing, Crash Course on the shortcut, one more time.
Geek Fam, they are struggling to find an angle in RRQ. They are showing who's boss in the river. They have found 2 extra kills, and that's going to be the Lord for the Kings of Kings.
Oh man, again and again, Geek Fam in these clutch moments crumble to the coordination of the Kings. RRQ, they're really building towards, again, the regular season testudo that we know them for. Coordination, playing the front to back, playing for your, technically, archers behind Rinz and Toy. As long as you keep those 2 alive, you will have a good time. Technically, they even have a crazy damage dealer in Dyron. Kenzie might need to go for a defensive item here. Like, usually would go Divine Glaive, but you might need a Winter Crown. I'm not even joking, you don't have Purify, so the moment Crash Course lands and Sutsujin goes in for the taunt, you might have to just Winter Crown. If not, you're gonna go bye-bye. Oh, Shred, Tsunami Slam in desperation! Toy gets the Shred, and RRQ will continue the siege. No Beloyski.
The DPS doing work, Trinity also inside of Toy's hands. Now it's going to be Geek Fam defending with 4.
That's a 4v5. Could be a 4v6 if you count the portal as a hero. They are able to defend. All the base turrets, tier 2 though, unfortunately will be falling in the bottom lane, and now becomes RRQ's game. With the chip, you have so much more ways to utilize the tempo on the map, and they have all of that, all the tempo. What Geek Fam had in game 2, RRQ have it, but the difference is they have a chip. They have something that can capitalize on it by like 4-5 times.
Definitely the X factor here for that chip. Mirok, oh my goodness, different. It's audience prediction though this time around will be the Kings of Kings. And yeah, Mirok, only thing that he needs to do is finding the right angle for that shortcut, right? If that shortcut isn't optimal, perhaps Geek Fam has a counterplay. Let's see though, Geek Fam definitely will be the passive team in the coming minutes. The more reactive, where first 5 minutes seems like 6. It was them on the driver's seat.
This is gonna get real tough for Geek Fam, knowing that again, technically with this composition, either you get Winter Crowns, you're able to delay for some of the big ultimate resources to be depleted by RRQ, and then you come back in the fight, or you initiate first. You go in before RRQ expect it, and then you are maybe able to break that formation, that testudo that RRQ wants to play with.
That's even a gamble though, right? Yeah. If they do that, still are a big risk. Okay, nasty build there. Sea Halberd for that Dyron. Yeah, the shielding for Harith neutralized.
Good take. Not completely though. It is a bit of a problem now. There's also a glowing one there. 2,000 gold lead in the mid lane. Oh, whoa! Edok takes in the checkpoint. Shortcut gets placed down, but Edok will fall. Oh, Edok gets away! And pays the price!
Edok takes it in the chin, and he survives. 3K gold lead RRQ now. They have Prio on the Lord. A Geek Fam, great initiation, but a better recovery.
Instant follow-up from RRQ is what saved them. For Geek Fam, it was not instant. Yes, the Tsunami Slam was. Kenzie was there, but the rest of the team were scattered around, just trying to deal with minions. So yeah, RRQ, the instant recovery. Let's take a look at the replay again. He takes the checkpoint. That was kind of a gamble, knowing that there's no one on the map here. This is why I don't like the utility mid laners, man. You don't deal any damage, especially in a later stage when you're up against this kind of composition. But you're saying you pick someone up, you die.
I think that is where, sure, Harith has burst. But apart from that, that's the only burst component you have on side of Geek Fam, and that is lacking. That is evident that they're lacking in that department. Lord Marching, that's a 3-lane push from RRQ.
Oh, look at the poke over to Gobs. Sunsajin gets a massive taunt in the back. Tyrant in the back, and the bottom lane as well, but Gobs taken down before he can utilize anything in his kit. Beloyski disintegrated by Toy.
Jakarta International starting to feel the heat. They want more.
Thunderclap by Tyrant again. Makeit's fallen. Just a boy left to defend. What can a boy do up against 5 members with a Lord? RRQ lead the series in a best of 7, 2-1.
The turnaround, RRQ showing up in game 3. And I gotta say, that was a convincing win from the side of RRQ. Sure, shaky start, but at least coming mid-game, they were the ones controlling the map, controlling the waves.
I'm glad they're keeping it simple, RRQ now, you know? That's what worked in the regular season. The testudo of RRQ, just playing front to back, playing for Toy, playing for sometimes Rins there in this game, but also having the proper picks, playmaking for Edoff, and game changer, carry for Dyrant. Yep. They're back to basics here. No need to go for the gotchas, man. Don't try to play the meta when you have different ways to win. Oh, you've utilized different ways to win in the regular season. Man on your screen, man, that's my MVP, Edoff.
Another MVP shout is Kescute. What a draft,
yeah,
right?
Finally.
Great read. Having the second pick, was able to find the last pick value very, very well. And I feel like they were the ones dictating from the drafts. If they keep this up from the drafts, we might see a 4-1 for RRQ.
Definitely. Kescute finally feeling the jam. Those jitters that he felt in the early 2 games look to be gone. And finally, they're going back to be like, all right, Toy, you can carry. Let's play for you. You've been doing so well. Let's enable you even more. And I think the panel will have similar things to talk about. Let's ask them, what do you guys think about the game? Was that good from RRQ? How did Geek Fam come back?
Well, we think it is an absolute banger. I mean, it was a back and forth game, but there were some hiccups from the RRQ side because they picked up the carry up against the Harith. You're gonna get bullied into oblivion. You know, we even had the talks between us that maybe a Beatrix would be better because at least you have that late game angle. But boy, oh boy, that was RRQ just pulling it out. Gobs with the 5-man penalty zone wasn't enough to really save Geek Fam. It's just like follow-up.
At that moment, I think the RRQ got a 3-lane push.
Yeah.
So a lot of players from Geek Fam have a lot of objective to be seen on their screen. One, they need to clear the minions. They need to aim for the lower, and then no follow-up for the penalty zone.
I mean, you saw it, right? They don't have a lot of ways to clear easily. And at that time, you know, if they don't really clear the waves fast enough, RRQ can just go straight in and end. Due to the high damage output, right, from the Masha, from the carry, from the Kimi as well. Like it's an angle for RRQ to just end the game without even fighting. So they're just forced into a tough situation, man. RRQ macroed it really well, but with a chip, you know, that's a cheat code.
It's harder to cheat code with a chip, but I think the one that enables it all is the Fredrin pick. You couldn't pick a Masha pick without a Fredrin. You couldn't just easily play the carry without the Fredrin because it's just such a, you know, absolutely ridiculous utility tool. The taunts, the knockup, like everything else. Even if you have the damage with the Abraser's Wrath, but the MVP, realize, who was it?
I think I know who this is. Obviously, it is. Oh, it is E-Dog, the player of the game presented by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S25 series. What can we highlight from E-Dog here, Arash?
We can highlight his assessment on whether or not a fight is feasible. In the early game, he does a great job screening, right? E-Dog, despite his big engages, like we saw over here, good targeting, good decision on when to actually pull the trigger. But there are moments like this where, fun fact, Midnight came along and said, hey, if Geekman play for their gold laner, there's a better chance. And as he says that, this happened, right? It was a great moment for Geek Fam. But overall, aside from that, E-Dog did a great job finding the right targets, the right moments. It enabled Dairon to have an even better game than he was already having. And let's not forget that one play where he got jumped on and fortunately was able to survive. Those kind of moments where E-Dog is a survivor happened like 2 or 3 times throughout the course of the whole game.
This is the, oh my god, so good. The flanks coming in from E-Dog and that just enables this fight. But I don't get why Geek Fam was just, they should have just conceded instead of just fighting 3-4. And the Aboya mistakes hasn't been fixed yet, Polius.
Yeah, it's always like overcommit on the wrong position, offside. That's why I think the utilization of the E-Dog shortcut is very important, like this one. Yeah. When like, maybe Geek already think that, oh, we can get E-Dog, but when the shortcut come and the others are like very fast to following up, it's a disaster for Geek Fam.
Was at that moment. Ooh, that was a 4-man, to be honest. Still, it was magnificent. But Kolios mentioned it earlier on in the broadcast that, you know, that 4-man Terizla ultimate did not really matter that much because there were 3 ways pushing in. Top side had Lord, and Geek Fam were, you know, occupied on just dealing and everything. So
they are scattering.
Yeah, they were scattered, and it was so hard for them to traverse around that one.
And in a game like this, you gotta feel bad for Kenziski, dude. This was the Harriet we were hyping up. He played it 3 times against in the last match they were in, right?
Yeah.
I believe. And he performed well on every single of those games. But against a comp like this, dude, I mean, Mirko was saying it already, but with the Masha just doing so well, that Harriet just could not sustain, could not do damage, could not escape.
That's why Masha and Chip, I think, it have a good synergy because Masha is always ready for fighting.
Yeah.
So every time Chip using the shortcut, Masha can just come and do the thunderclap.
Battle ready with the Masha, usually other XP laners, even the CC. It needs a few items to go, right? You need War Axe to maybe just, you know, hit even more, or even, you know, the Phobius, who really needs quite a few levels and then that gold in his pocket. But with the Masha, it's very quick, very battle ready as well. So I think that was the saving grace for RRQ.
And by the way, Pelosi coming into this game, he was 8 out of 9 on the Kalea, 89% win rate, currently 80%. And I feel like this is not really, this is a hard game for Pelosi to play. RRQ just drafted the perfect way to be able to counter this guy from engaging their most important members. And, you know, you kind of have to think like, in this case, the Badang works better than the Kalea, you know?
Yeah. Because Badang is like a teamfight oriented, but Kalia is like more pick-off oriented.
And the thing is, when you're factoring the penalty zone and also the Tsunami Slam, I don't think it synergizes well. You have a easy like single player pick-off.
Yeah.
This AoE Badang that does not really have that much follow-up, especially when Kenziski is not snowballing. This is a Zushin as well.
I don't think the Kalia was picked up early on already. And then afterwards, you're looking at this composition build up, the Chip, the Masha, and then on top of that, the carry and the Fredrin, everyone barreling forward, a lot of damage, right? So anyone, like you saw there in the end sequence, the gold difference was like 7,000 at that point. So it's not like a 10,000 gold difference. We've seen more, but the speed at which the carries in the backline disappeared from Geek Fam, it shows again how dangerous this composition was. So I think they saw that and they figured we need someone that can tank some damage. The body of Smith from Terizla, you know, can be useful there. And we need the AoE to stop the full-on charge. That's where I think they picked the Terizla over the Badang, even though technically more crowd control available. But I guess the Masha factor is a problem. Like you mentioned, Kolios, you can't crowd control the Masha, right?
Yeah.
The HP bar goes away, boom, next one.
Very tricky for Geek Fam to navigate that game, that team fight. We had our concerns as well, right? I mean, the carry, again, was a concern, being bullied by the Harith into Oblivion again in the lane. And maybe just not reaching that late game, because mid game I think Geek Fam could have done it. They could have just, stood tall against RRQ, but the Masha was indeed their tip of spear, I would say. So now it's 2-1, RRQ, 2 more wins to MSC. Geek Fam still behind, well, as usual.
Well, as usual.
I mean, like if you took a look,
I didn't say anything, by the way.
I mean, if you take a look at the regular season standings, they're behind RRQ, right? So
that's fair.
If you look at the pattern, right, Geek Fam, they really like it from behind, In the early season, they're 9th. There's like a lot of doubts whether they can come back or not, but they definitely come back to the 2nd seed, and that's why they're here.
But now it's time for us to talk about the MSC.
No!
I don't even want to, I can't even finish my words. I was like, MSC, but...
Yeah, we're talking about the experience here, dude.
Talk to us about this, Coleus. Obviously, you've been there for quite some time.
Yeah.
Please do, please do.
Yeah.
I think for Geek Fam itself, they are joining the NPL ID on the season 4.
Right.
But RIQ are still on NPL ID from the first season. That's why they got the chance to be for the first MSC until in the second MSC, because the first MSC is on 2017.
Yeah.
But they almost never miss the M series, except for the M5. And the M5 contender from Indonesia is Geek Fam.
So
yeah, I remember that. I remember when they got knocked out. So
Arashi,
rough.
Would you rather have your team attend all M series,
but never won,
or you miss one but you never go to MSC?
What?
I don't know. I was just trying to craft the question to
right. Well, I
Oh.
think I'm happy with the fact that they've always been there, because at least I always feel like I'm involved somehow. Obviously, it would have been great to actually win it as well. The amount of twos in that graphic there, that hurts me, man.
Yeah, but now it's time to talk about
Second places.
the regular season teams, top 2. Which team kept their edge? If we take a look at MPLPH season 15, it was TLPH and Aurora, but they did not even make it to the grand finals for Aurora, at least. TLPH against Onyx PH ended up lifting the trophy, right? For the playoffs, again, it was TLPH and Onyx PH, and I think the rest is just, regular stuff happening.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, man.
Straightforward. I mean, like for MPL MENA as well, right? Ultra Legends first in playoffs.
We've been very vocal about MPL MENA just because we casted it.
Yeah, and now we know.
We should. You have info.
We have info.
For sure.
You can't gatekeep info.
Shout out Ultra Legends. Beating Falcons.
Shout out Throwboy.
Like, a really big org, by the way. Beaten out by 5 guys, 5 randos. It's like BTK.
Randos. He kept on blabbering about Ultra Legends being 5 randos. Imagine the disrespect.
Turns out.
And he kept on talking about Throwboy throwing the game. So I think, Chefin, I'm gonna throw you with this. I'm kidding. I can't throw Chefin with this because then he'll have a bad day. Because with us in the panel, it's always a good day. Because Good Day Coffee is a ready-to-drink 3-in-1 bottled coffee with a variety of delicious flavors, including fantastic mochaccino, original cappuccino, tiramisu bliss, avocado delight, and the newest edition, groovy cookies. How do you feel after sipping that, Mr. Coleus?
Was that meme, Rashi?
This is my favorite flavor.
It's your favorite?
The fantastic
Fresh
mochaccino.
Fantastic mochaccino.
Yeah, it have the sweet.
I love the avocado. Now I can't spell
Fresh avocado.
The fresh
avocado.
avocado.
Help me, Rashi.
Avocado.
Yeah, it's the fresh avocado.
God damn it.
That is canon now.
Okay, avocado.
I haven't actually tried this flavor.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty good.
It is.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't think I would vibe well with like mocha, but hey, it's not bad.
Oh man. Unfortunately, the other mocha.
Yep.
Never mind.
That's nice. I know what this guy's trying to say. Arash, I know what this guy's trying to say. But it's time for us to wipe out all the dandruffs, because with Head and Shoulders, we wipe out 100% of wet dandruff plus itch protection.
Should we give Coleus the midnight treatment?
Should we give him the treatment?
It have the
Okay.
Mia and Lemon.
Oh, that's not a good.
Okay, now hands out.
Chef doesn't like lemon.
No, it's not. Mia and Lemon. But the last.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Hands
you remember
out.
that mid lane 4v1 play from Lemon?
Wait, Devin. Coleus' hands out.
I don't.
Call
I
this
don't
his
want
hand.
to.
No.
Why not?
No, you-
It's not a slam man. Give them to RQ, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. You are using the
Look
lemon.
at his distance, bro. Look at
brothers.
this distance. Look, oh, I can't,
Come on,
I can't
come on.
reach. I can't reach.
A little bit.
I can't reach.
Come on.
Oh my god. That's a lot. That's a lot.
So by the way, look at how sticky that is. By the way, Coleus, yesterday we had
quality.
Midnight in the panel and we gave him the treatment. I got this as well when I was in my first season of MPL. I was like, hand shoulders, very nice shampoo. And then Mirko was like, hands out.
That's a rookie hazer.
Shampoo.
Hey, Shevin, high five.
Get some tissue, I think, pass it over to Arash.
Later, we're good.
Yeah.
It can't wait. We have to
Just
let
with
it
hand and shoulders, you
marinate.
can wipe out to 100% of wet dandruff plus itch protection.
You don't want to itch your head. Good
Like us.
Yeah.
We're never scratching our head, right?
Never.
Because we are using hand
I'm
and
always
shoulders.
scratching my head when I'm only scratching my head when Geek Fam throws the game. It's like, hey, Arashi, my favorite part of Adlibs.
Oh, it's Shevin's favorite part as well.
CITB. Shevin's in the building.
Yeah.
Air cam by head and shoulders. And look at Shevin walking up to the screen
Oh
immediately.
no, it's CI-JIV now.
What?
CIT-JIV. Shevin in the Jakarta International Velodrome.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Because we're in the JIV.
Because we are not on the MPL arena anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a building.
It's not a building. It's a velodrome.
It's more than just a building, bro.
It's a coliseum. It's an emotion.
Don't do in jokes in front of Coleus. That's not allowed.
What do you mean?
That's in jokes. Coleus doesn't understand.
What is it?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yo, I talk a lot with Coleus.
Yeah.
You're the one distancing yourself.
Okay, that's a problem then.
Yeah, you
The
are.
fact that you
What, you're
know.
thinking that I'm an outsider?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No,
wow.
Coleus.
Karashi.
I'm feeling
Coleus,
hurt.
Coleus,
Coleus,
Coleus.
Coleus.
Tell him, Coleus. Tell him.
I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
Oh my God, Kevin.
God.
You're treating a senior like him as an outside.
That's crazy.
Senior?
That's crazy, bro.
Believe it or not,
I'm
if
not that old.
If it weren't for Coleus, I wouldn't be here. I'm not even
No,
joking.
no.
All right, back to the game we go. Previous game recap. It is for match 7, or rather the lower bracket finals of game 3. And if we take a look at the Juicin and the Kimi, obviously the Kimi has higher kill pressure with the traction pulse plus the burst damage you can bring with the Sky Piercer as well. But with the Juicin, in this meta, sure, Juicin is a strong utility mid laner. But the fact of the matter is that Juicin lacks damage. So what could, be possibly the reasons why teams still want to prio Juicin?
So fun fact, right? I think we got a chat from Mr. Mirko himself, and he said like, hey, funny enough, actually, I play Zazz quite often, right? Because I want that security. He was saying that there was an angle here for Gig to possibly go for it.
Yeah.
And I think that shows, right, that the idea is not that they want, a Tsushin, they want this utility. I think the idea is they want that security in a meta that's so aggressive and the mid lane being such a viable target. I think that's what they're looking for with the Tsushin. The possibility to jump away, have an extra shield, and still be active in the fight. Because we've seen what happens when your mid laner gets zoned out of the fight. You just lose out on so much value.
Especially on the early game, I think. Juicin is a very powerful mage on the early game. When you do the combo with maybe Badang,
Yeah.
you can easily get first blood from the opponents.
I think it's the combo pressure, right, that
Yep.
really brings it to the table.
Yeah, RQ right now, pretty good win rate in this game.
What's happening?
We had a guest appearance by Mr. DARUS.
Don't dox him.
No, that doesn't spell out anything.
That's our lovely runner. Yeah, we call him.
Oh, you don't win like that.
No, that's doxing. He's just a cool guy. He showed
cool
up,
guy.
Very cool
gave
guy.
us some
He's a very cool
nice
guy.
words of
Always
encouragement.
helping us.
He
Yeah.
feeds me with food,
Yeah, always helping
gives
us.
me drinks, and yeah,
All your other needs,
yeah, like what?
like
Medicine.
something that you put in your
See? Yeah.
move food. You put your foot
Look
in
at
your
this
hand.
guy. He's just
The
always
meals,
trying
the,
to pull
the vitamins, vitamins, right?
Vitamin.
Yeah.
Vitamins.
Let's see if the teams here have their share of vitamins, because they're gonna need everything.
They are going to need vitamin C as well, so they can draft clearly. Presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. And as of now, what are the bans gonna be? We have seen a glimpse of it. The Joy and the Fanny Respected. And it's up to the Lukes and the Baxia next as well to be blacklisted from the draft. Chip goes onto the ban list as well, leaving RRQ with 1 ban. Do they want to close out the Harriet or the Juicin?
Oh, I think it might be the Faramis again if it works in the 3rd game.
I think they banned Faramis because they want to use the chip, right? But right now,
Might be, you know.
Yeah, kind of.
the Faramis is the counter of chip.
Yeah.
In a way.
In a way.
It's not a guaranteed counter, but it's an approach that people can't use. I'm looking more at the fact that Hayabusa is left open right now. Kalea banned from RRQ,
Suyo.
but Geek Fam, they can go for the Suyo, but do they want to go for that over that Hayabusa?
Yeah. Either way,
Take it away from Sutsujin as well.
for sure. This guy knows how to play Hayabusa, but Geek Fam, man, if you're looking at the options here, it should be either a Suyo Hayabusa, right? What other options are there? Maybe Harith? Because if they want to trade the jungler and still pick a very highly sought Harith, I think that should be pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think they need to let Kenziski come online. But they'll go for the Badang, so still a priority.
Okay. Interesting. And so now RRQ can go for that Hayabusa if they do want to. And along with that, technically the Logi is available. I'm not sure if it's a very Rin style pick. We haven't seen it all that much, but possibly something in the mid lane as well, I'm thinking. Especially with how contested the picks have been. We saw early Farsas in Onyx versus Geek Fam, I believe.
Yeah.
So that could be an angle, but maybe a bit too premature, especially with the assassin threat coming in from Makers.
If they want to deny like the combo from Farsha Badang, maybe Farsha can be picked from RQ.
Yeah.
And of course, the Fredrin. I think it's gonna be better if they pick Fredrin.
Oh,
Never mind.
So that is
deny
a deny
pick
pick.
for Kenzie.
Yeah, for Kenziski. The Harith just gone. The Phobius again, the staple for Dyron. Now Geek Fam. What do they pick in response to this Harith? Does the 1-1 work again? Or do you have any other things in mind?
I think you should pick the Farsa, no? I mean, usually how you counter a Harith is either with a suppress, which is very rare, you know, if you wanna pick a Kaja or a Franco in the roam or even the jungle. But the other way to do it is just to pick a Farsa and just deplete that HP before the teamfight even begins, so that shield will not be coming in handy when the teamfight begins. But I don't know, if we're talking about the boy, that's not his style.
They might go for Granger here, maybe, right? Because like the team fight is one thing, but the laning phase seems to be something that people want to really guarantee. Oh, Geek Fam taking the Fredrin away, but going 1-1 against the Harith?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
When you have the 2 frontliners, that's already very, tanky. And this way, it kind of denies the Hayabusa as well, no?
Well, but it does not deny the Farsta.
Yeah.
So that comes through. And again, it's very surprising to me that RRQ are not prioritizing getting something for Citizen, because we saw how it played out in the previous game. The moment they do get that Fredrin for them, it looks like a completely different, more organized RRQ.
How about Hanzo?
Hanzo.
Oh boy.
Hanzo can easily melt Fredrin if already got the 3 items.
Yeah.
Yes, but in a way, you're gonna be stunned up in the air, the taunts, and you're gonna get bursted down before you get to do something.
But you can fight though.
Yeah, it can go to the back line, but for the 1-1.
I think Mirko mentioned this as well. At the Hanzo, in this meta at least, it's just, I don't know, it's way too squishy. Like if you want to go in, you get bursted down with the Pinnacle Ninja and give it, like you're much more vulnerable in your Pinnacle Ninja form, right?
Yeah.
The moment you go in, you know, a few slashes, you're already out because you're basically low on HP. That was what Rin was able to show, right? He wasn't really effective with the Hanzo because of the burst potential. But I think in the hands of RQ, that could be an answer, but again.
Well, again, that would depend on what kind of burst damage Geek Fam have at their disposal.
Yeah.
That example Mirko was making was against a Harith.
Yeah.
Where one dash and an empowered basic attack chunked a Hanzo down to half HP.
Yeah.
One basic attack. A 1-1 doesn't really operate the same way. So there's it's more valid, but again, very high risk still. I feel like RRQ, if they're gonna go for something like that, they need to get some other, supplementary picks before they can go for the Hanzo. They can't blind pick into it.
Yep. DK banned. A strong pick for E-Doc. Now it's up to the jungle and what E-Doc will play, right?
Masha banned too.
Is there an angle where he might play a moment hero, a 1 moment done type of hero.
What, Tigreal?
I don't
It's
know.
right there.
At the Hylos. Why would you want to put Enoch on a Hylos? I don't like it.
I think it's a risky move if they want to play with Tigreal because 1-1 have the Needles of Powers.
Yeah.
It's like one-time Purify.
Purify.
Yeah, for sure. And the Glorious Pathway is...
You can easily like opening the weakness from the Tigreal itself.
Even though Hylos can get open the Weakness Finder, but you can just get away with the... whatchamacallit? Glorious Pathway?
Yeah, Glorious Pathway. And you are tanky.
And... Go on.
Well, no, I was just thinking, the Glorious Pathway, right? It's going to be really good because the heroes from the side of Geek Fam, they have a dash, and that's it. So they're not really good at running away long distance. So if it's a long... Oh, speaking of distance, though, with the Lo Yi, never mind my point, it's going to be a bit more difficult now.
Geekvam main damage dealer are only 1-1 at the late game. Because
Yeah.
Luoyi is more utility, right?
Yeah. But the burst is still there. I mean, for the
Yeah, the
early
burst.
game to carry and transition the 1-1 to the late game.
There should
And
be a
now
link, right?
RRQ.
Should be a what?
Ling.
Ling?
Thing.
It's bad, but...
Oh, really?
Again?
Really? Okay.
Talk to me about this pick.
Well, again, funny enough, right? It's not exactly a late game. Miko was mentioning it as well, because he used to play it a little bit. It's more of a mid-game hero. The issue with how RRQ was using it the last time we saw this Yi Sun-shin pick is that they were trying to fight and brawl immediately in the early game when the Yi Sun-shin hasn't had any item power spikes just yet. But now with the Pharsa, with the Phoveus, with the Harriet even, this is looking like a decent early game into a terrifying mid game, dude.
Oh, the Yi Sun-shin again. Obviously, casters, what do you think about this Yi Sun-shin? Ghani and Mirko, take it away.
Hey, it lost once, they tried it once. What if it doesn't the second time? What if they win the second time, right? This is going to be a statement victory for RRQ. Match point on the line as well for the Kingdom. And ladies and gentlemen, the Jakarta International Velodrome, the Kingdom here, definitely ready for a match point secure for RRQ. Are you guys ready? Welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 4.
Let's witness and see, because, hey, not just the kingdoms, the communities, man.
Oh, whoa.
Let's not forget about the communities who is waiting for an equalizer in this game. I feel like, draft-wise, I'm leaning towards the side of the Geeks.
I agree with you. I think this is and should be more of a Geek Fam game, not just because I have an agenda against the Yi Sun-shin, or I'm sorry, but also just because this is more of a Geek's comfort. Playing around with Kenziski on a comfort pick here, on a winning lane as well. You have the Fredgen from Maykids that they've really been trying to work out all the way from day number 2 when they played their first match. Always the Fredgen against Onic.
Okay. A couple of, I guess, looking from the thrill there already, so that's going to add and allow RRQ to perhaps give more damage. Sujin already posing a threat on towards the first blood there. Seems like Sujin, technically RRQ, they are doubling down with this Yi Sun-shin pick. Hopefully it comes through this time around.
Oh, good stun. A boy to be caught again. Oh, gets the shielding. Really saving him there. Could have been real bad, but will still be able to hold on. What? Stays a bit too long. Gets arrowed down by Sitsujin. First blood to RRQ.
Patient, right? Sitsujin stayed in that bush for quite some time. Sometimes, if you're patient, it pays off, and that was first blood for the Yi Sun-shin.
Man, staying. Boy's been making some real crucial mistakes here, and it's led to RRQ. Winning game 2, equalizing. Gobs up top again, able to get level 4 first, but now rotation over. Beloyski with the pin down. Zedox trying to do the same for their airstrike coming down as well. It's a boy who gets redemption with the turtle tape. Beloyski in the back, and now Sitsujin mounted.
That's going to beat Edok though. Trying to apply pressure on towards the boy. A boy might die the second time.
Oh, Rins, flicker from Rins. Double, make it a triple kill for Redemption himself. Tyrant now in front of pursuit. Gob spread, trying to run away. 3 members on him though. 5-0 start to the Kingdom.
RRQ. Again, it's not an early game composition, but they are pressing the right buttons here. Mirko and Geek Fam, they're allowing it.
It's so weird here for Geek Fam to be so scattered earlier. A boy obviously not level 4, and that kill gave Sutsujin a lot more tempo to play with that they utilized. And now this is a big problem for Geek Fam. We were talking about the Yi Sun-shin, how it's more of a cheese pick, but I think in this game in particular, it's actually not bad against the Fredrin now that I think about it, because the Fredrin clears so slow. That's why Maykits has opted to go for the Concussive Blast. Good steal from Sutsujin again, denying even more farm. He's already a level ahead. He's about to be 2 levels ahead. And it's going to be real tough because Geek Fam, Aboy just, it doesn't look like he's feeling it. Another Feather Airstrike, this time no flicker from Rin, so he gets away.
Then not a great start, specifically as well from Aboy. 0-2. Let's see though, will he be able to find the impact after later on? Because technically Kenzie mid-game, right? 3, say maybe 2.5 items can provide the impact. Aboy divergent play. Geek Fam can definitely play around later on. Hopefully though, they can withstand the pressure here because RRQ, remember 4 minutes already. 2,000 gold lead, that's a lot.
For RRQ, the scaling is great. Harith, Farsa, into the mid-game. The Yi Sun-shin will get a massive power spike. Diversion. Voloisky looking for the pin, now goes in. That's a Purify out. Interesting choice from Geek Fam. It's almost like they didn't know Toy has Purify.
Okay, at least they now know. It's gonna be a free turtle, RRQ. They're going for a fight.
Bad position again from Aboy. Now the Glorious Pathway gives Edok the movement speed, chasing Tyron. Flickering forward, good disengage there, but Aboy will fall. No flicker. One last Infernal Pursuit. Tyron dunks on him. 3,000 gold lead for Rex Regum Kaon.
6 kills in total, and half of them are on Aboy. RRQ, they really know how to punish Aboy this time around, and seems like without Geek Fam's anchor as well, apart from that mid trio, right? They're struggling. They're struggling to fight back.
What's with Aboy? 0-3-0. This is confidence at an all-time low from him. Again, yes, a blunder in game number 2, but after that, really just constant back-to-back-to-back games, blunders across the board, and now he's 0-3-0. Another big blow to Aboy. And his confidence, Geek Fam will have to look elsewhere. How do they boost this guy's confidence in a series that, again, for match point RRQ, they're down 3,000 gold. Edok, Glorious Pathway, Maykits to be engaged on Feather Airstrike as well coming down, and it will be the Dark Wave, the lockdown all the way with a pursuit under the turret.
Nasty stuff from RRQ, and it seems like they will apply more pressure. Aboy again, out of position. This time around, though, will not be punished. But Geek Fam again, RRQ is already in the jungles of Geek Fam.
Oh, turret mid will fall. No Lo Yi to help and clear it all. RRQ getting everything they want in the early game. 4,000 gold lead, 7-0. Hey, we expected a closer series. We got what we wished for in game 1 and 2. 3 and 4, though, have just been all RRQ.
RRQ, still gotta be careful. Oh, risky. Overextension.
Feather Airstrike, an easy catch for RRQ. As again, they just build towards this Testudo, playing front to back with their frontliners doing, that's a diversion, but I think RRQ aren't, I don't think that would catch anyone.
Red team has slain the turtle.
Great positioning as well, right, from side of RRQ.
Oh, yeah.
And again, no purple. Almost level 12 here, minute number 7 for Sutsujin. Practically now level 7.
Yeah. 3-level lead for Sutsujin, something we already mentioned earlier. This could be like crazy snowball for Sutsujin, and it has been an amazing game for him against the Fredrin. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Concussive Blast, yes, he's trying to make up for that clear speed deficit, but it is not enough, especially considering they lost 2 turtles. With a Fred, you would want to control everything, you would want to win early game, and their composition was built for that, but all of them fell under. Voloisky forced the flicker, Feathered Airstrike, now the conceal even burned out. Tyron is walking towards them. Sutsujin walks a bit too aggressively. Oh, what? Crossbow tang, another trade in the board as a boy.
Again, overextension. Glorious Pathway, that's gonna be a boy though, flickering out. Oh my goodness. RRQ, they were able to close the gap on a boy, but that is still a big shutdown. 2 for 1.
I'm quite speechless, Donnie. This is not the boy that we know. These decisions from him are like, even in his rookie days, he wouldn't do this. I'm so confused.
Yeah, again, Geek Fam, still a hill to climb. Doris Pathway dropped.
Had the air shot with the fist crack now. Beloyski just trying to survive a toy. Oh! Buy one, get one special. It might be a buy one, get two special. A boy comes in with Makits too. Gob's able to go for the mount now as Makits goes over the taunt onto the back line. A boy, look at the crossbow. Tang!
Onto Ardadok, but the damage from RRQ. They know that they are strong.
Big shutdown with a big bonk on the Appraiser's Wrath. But with Kenzie and Makits down, the shutdown, I don't think it's worth it here. It's still value for the Kingdom. Tyrant gets a Winter Crown, and that is kind of a shut-in of the window that was slightly open for Geek Fam to utilize the crossbow attack to turn the tides of a team fight. But right now with the Winter Crown, it's going to be deadlier for RRQ. Oh my lord, that's a lot of damage. Reset on the Lord at least. So maybe another chance? No, French is too far. Sujin securing the neutral objective.
RRQ, very comfortable lead here mid-game. 7.5. 3 items, Malefic Gun. Do they have a chance for the side of Geek Fam? Yes. But if RRQ keeps it tight, if RRQ now is, I believe, will start to buy the Winter Crowns, it's going to get tougher for Geek Fam.
Make it securing the purple buff. What do they need to do at this point, right? This is an early game composition, kind of a snowball one. A boy will get more damage. Kenzie will too, but the main thing about the Wanwan, ladies and gentlemen, is once you get Winter Crown, Wind of Nature, I don't even know if you want to go Wind of Nature here. No, probably not. No one. So, Winter Crown Immortality. You're done, right? The crossbow attack. Oh, feathered airstrike too to deal with the Wanwan. And now the stun over to a boy! Under the turret! 0, 5, and 0! The Mercenary!
Oh, the angle was tight, but Sujin makes it work. A boy 0 and 5.
Yeah.
10,000 goal lead. RRQ, they are looking to clean this game out.
Demand Force over, and the dash with the chrono. Siege, First Lord, and it's a base turret for RRQ. Hoshi Beloyski is looking for the BBB play. But even if he gets it, there are Purifies, there are tanky members, there's a Winter Crown on Dyron, and their mid laner does no damage right now. I wonder what item a boy is on. He is 2 levels down as a mid laner. And this is not utility, folks, this is a damage dealing mid laner.
What is this game, right? I mean,
wow.
I personally rate a boy over Rins, but in this game, wow, I'm speechless. The trio mid for RRQ has been doing work.
Maybe there's a reason we've been seeing a boy more on the utility picks over the carries. Beloyski with the flank, goes in over the toy! Purify out, now and all in, a desperate move. Sujin, 2 members down, a boy in the back line trying to make a big play, but again, Tyron!
A boy goes down, RRQ, they apply more pressure. Beloyski will be able to escape, but that's going to be base turret number 3, going down almost. RRQ, they will move on towards the jungles.
I sound like a broken record, but it has to be pointed out. 0, 6, and 0 on the Loyi. This Loyi has been very underwhelming for Geek Fam, and now for RRQ, 11,000 gold lead with a composition that loves the snowball. Yeah. Geek Fam, they have a Hail Mary at this point. Divergent, find Harith, and Rinse. No Purify for a few seconds. That's an opening that they need to capitalize on. If they don't, it's over.
It is. Mountain Shocker popped though by Sujin, so that's already info at Geek Fam. They will contest.
Oh, Marsa, all in over to the back. A boy will die for the 7th time this game in the back line. Riz gets the kill before balling a gob. Beloyski left alone. A triple for the Mercenary.
Oh, the double down worked for RRQ this time around. The Yisun Shin will
be the MVP, surely.
The Fallen Kings rising back up. 3-1, a match point for the Kingdom as they make their way on an uphill battle. One step closer, a game away from the fated matchup against the team that set them down. The Sky Kings await up top, but there's still one whole game left. Geek Fam, it's back to the drawing boards. It might be back to the scouting team as well, because, or the mental team. What has happened to a boy?
My goodness, 0-7?
0-7 and 0.
Oh my days. Geek Fam, they need a hard reset, but RRQ one step closer to MPL ID Season 15 playoffs. One step closer for that slot towards MSC. Aloy giving the team some words. Let's see, make or break. But RRQ showing their fangs in this game.
Showing their fangs, they're biting with their fangs. Geek Fam, the wound might be too big to recover from. We see the leader, the man that has built Geek Fam from the ground up, literally, from a team that is just another point, a free point in the regular season, to a beast. Now top 3 secured. But even for Beloyski, I don't think top 3 is enough. He wants MSC, he wants to come back, and now the whole team will have to dig deep. We're gonna send it back to the panel, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Gani here, we're speechless with that performance of a boy. I wonder what the panel's thinking here. 0-7 and 0.
Match point for RRQ Hoshi, as they might just look for one more win to secure that MSC ticket and book another rematch against Onyx in the grand finals. By the way, a puddle of water right here. I'm gonna wipe it off a bit because it's Cheffin's tears.
Yeah.
Take a look at the Geek Fam fan. It's just shrouded in that jersey. By the way, you were waving yours. How are you feeling, Arashi?
I am very impressed, and I can't shake off the suspicion that they had this like up their sleeves the whole time. What happened to Rins, dude? Chevin was valid saying that in the previous game, it was a mid-off, right? You know, with the context, mid-off.
Yeah.
Both mid are kind of off. What was Rins on this game? Dude, he was outplaying. He was in the right place at the right time.
No.
Oh, dude, I can't even wrap my head around it right now.
Yeah, he plays very good using this Barsha on this game. Even like we amazed several times when we see like how Rins play, Magna play this game.
Dude, that's so crazy. Even the Yi Sun Shin. People were clowning on it. Oh, Yi Sun Shin can't work right now. Sun Sujin, what was he doing? And actually, Midnight also came by earlier. One of those moments where Sun Sujin was overextending. Midnight was like, what was he doing? But they delivered?
Yeah.
What?
They delivered. Everybody in RRQ did. And we are gonna crown our player of the game. It is none other than Rins.
Le Captain.
The captain, the shot caller, the Farsa.
Man, I just can't really keep my... what is this? Can we just get this off the screen? What is this?
When this happened, Chevin was like, no!
Yeah.
So Chevin
is yelling.
I don't get it, man. Then he stole the turtle. I said, oh yeah, all is well and forgiven, but then this happens again. Rins, man, get the hell out of here, bro. I just don't get it, man.
Bang!
It changes.
Bang!
I feel like, it holds so much weight to how the game goes, because if it's early game Yi Sun Shin getting snowballed, that you really have no chance unless Sun Shin is making this kind of mistake, then, you know,
This was it.
it's on you to lose the game by itself.
Yeah, but he was making mistakes, but it's not enough, I think.
Yeah. And at this point, Beloyski, if he were to just open the map, he's just gonna get bursted down by even Rins, man. He was snowballing the hell out of his mind. Even early Wishing Lantern as well.
Yeah. And not to mention, that's before we talk about Toy. It's a Harith that's scaling, that's snowballing, and this is the exact kind of game you want to have if you're on a Harith. Just keep fighting, keep forcing out fights and getting value with the Zaman Force, and this is what happens, man. Oh man, this was a great play by Beloyski. Unfortunately, RRQ were able to get out of it. They had the battle spells ready. And dude, it was just a deep dive into the base.
Literally a dogfight game. Every time they
at
saw where Geek Bomb is, yeah.
Right here. Does this damage?
Team fights.
Lands the feather airstrike.
Uh-huh.
Dude, so much value.
Even when he's down and out.
It's not direct, it rinse and play to the back line.
Exactly.
Even when he's down and out, and even when he's dead, still able to contribute at least, turning things around for RRQ. And now, let's take a look at the items.
Oh, 3 to 20. Oh man,
What is that?
13 minutes, dude.
13 minutes.
That's
20
rough.
kills. That's a 17 kill margin then.
It's really rough when you consider that both frontliners from Onyx or for RQ Hoshi is
Onyx.
This is just disastrous. And a boy doing his best Rin impression with 007. Mission Impossible.
Rin impression. Oh man.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, 007.
That's Bond.
Yeah,
James
that's
Bond.
Bond.
Oh, is that not Mission
It's
Impossible?
the wrong
James Bond.
It's the wrong thing.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't watch movies.
Okay.
All right, accepted. Look at the gold, though. 12,000 on the Yi Sun-shin. Again, when you have the space on the map, this hero just farms like crazy, dude. And Sutsujin, he likes this style. This is what he was criticized for. Just trying to fight again and again, keep brawling. When he is just forced to think more about the pathing, avoid the fights, and then fight only when he knows he can win, this is the result, man. 12,000 gold. That's just so far off. And make it, unfortunately, on the Fredrin, in this kind of situation, 7,000 gold. Dude, man was struggling. Man was broke.
We almost see this like Yi Sun-shin shining yesterday, but I think
Huh?
'Cause
Yeah.
it's almost the same draft. I think it's Onyx.
It's similar.
Similar, right?
For RQ, for the opponent or for RQ?
RQ.
Because they had the Yi Sun-shin as well with an early game composition.
Early game composition, but it didn't work well.
Yeah. You knew what happened to the Yi Sun-shin yesterday, right? 1v1 by a Farsa.
Yeah.
So what do? They pick up the Farsa for themselves.
I mean, that's Gil Asan's the original
Yeah.
YSS god.
I'm kidding.
You know, I mean, I guess that's where Sutsujin has to accept defeat right there.
Oh,
but
man.
speaking of Gil Asan himself, you know, usually we mock, people mock Rins and say, hey bro, I know what you're trying to do, but you're not him, you're not Sans. But with a performance like that, like, whoa, you're looking kind of close.
Yeah. So close.
Look at how close the items were in Sutsujin. Then you see a boy. Just,
Oh, yeah.
man.
We talked about it.
No item, man.
He doesn't have the Ijada Talisman.
That was only a one-item game
my
from
God.
the boy.
One item games.
He got his glowing wand on the 7th minute. And I think we talked about it on the 11th minute, right? 11th
did.
minute. We discussed amongst ourselves together that he only had a glowing wand by the 11th minute. So by then, how would you try to make plays when you don't have the Enchanted Talisman to have the cooldown reduction to refresh that ultimate, right? That's a problem then.
Yeah, we saw the plays attempted, but unfortunately, despite the good plans here, I mean, without the right resources, it's just not possible. The logistics doesn't check out.
That's not
And all eyes on a boy. If you look at 050, dude.
Yikes.
Let's talk about the MSC battle plan again. We have 3 of them today, and now it is going to be us discussing the player with the most MSC appearances. Let's talk about it. We have on top with 18 matches, it is JPL,
The
Boss
walk-
SG, and an IP Flash. Oh yeah, my bad.
Diablo.
I thought we were out of frame.
All right.
I had
so
to walk up and read it. My bad.
I'm struggling to recognize the faces as well, I'll be honest with you. Does anyone have better eyesight?
I have.
Please.
Go. Scott for us.
I go again?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm kidding. Diablo, that's RSJ and Nip Flash.
Right, Diablo.
15 matches.
Yep, Shaknu.
Shaknu, Execration and Omega, 14 matches. Izzy, IDNS, and with 14 matches, and Kelra, Execration and Omega, 14 matches.
Man, it's kind of crazy that Kelra has been around for like so long.
His
we're
longevity
still-
is insane.
And we're still saying like, hey, he's a young boy, he's a young player, he has a long career, and his career is already so highlighted. Aside from that though, yeah, Diablo, man. Such a familiar face at this point.
Diablo.
Easy from IDNS. This is a throwback, man. I don't know if you guys been around for a long time, but this is a very OG guy, you know? Ever since MSC Season 1,
With Emmy too.
since Indo, like all that.
almost like a different era. Almost.
Elite 8. Oh man, what a throwback.
It's
Seriously.
a shift now. It's a shift now. It's up to new gen now to surpass these feat.
And Chaknu's there too, man.
Chaknu.
I still remember Chak Mamba like it was yesterday.
Chak Mamba.
That's crazy, man. He won, yeah. Based off those crazy plays. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
That was like our first like international event for me, Mirko and Eterna, I believe. And Goni.
Who do you think will be the next player to surpass those appearances?
I don't know, man.
Look at the statistics.
Especially with the regeneration we're seeing, there's so many new faces popping up. Like the whole concept for this season, there's a lot of talks about, oh, rookie this, rookie that, right? So I feel like unfortunately we might not see that kind of record getting overtaken anytime soon.
Yeah.
Well, that's the MSC battle plan. I'm still flabbergasted by my
by walking out to the camera.
walking out to the camera. I didn't expect the frame to still be there.
People at home like, whoa, he's approaching us.
Because usually, you know, it'll zoom out. Completely forgot about that. My bad. Apologies.
It's okay.
That hop.
We gotta see.
Yeah, we have to see, right? And I think it's out there now. Hopefully we have more Indo players that might have a chance to taste MSC. Because I think for RRQ, this new lineup, they haven't been to MSC at all, right? I think they skipped directly to M Series because it was Onyx and Evo.
Right, yeah, I think so. So that'll be a great opportunity, you know, a great experience as well. So you can say the same thing about Geek.
Exactly. Now, we want to have an interview upstage with Bude Clara Mongstar. So who is the guest you're going to interview, Bude? Take it away.
Semangat masih terus kita lihat dari kedua tim yang sedang berjuang untuk satu slot Grand Final dan juga satu slot untuk MSC at EWC. Di tengah-tengah super fans, semua yang ada di Jakarta International Velodrome ternyata banyak yang menarik perhatian. Bukan hanya dari sosok-sosok KOL, lalu ada juga dari beberapa nama-nama yang besar ditambah langsung aja Bude akan ngobrol bersama dengan para player dari MPL. Mereka berada di sini dan kita bakal dapat insight yang banyak. Ini berlima tapi bukan satu tim ya. Di tengah-tengah tim Dewa United tiba-tiba muncul ada Audi. Halo Audi.
Halo Bude.
Lama nggak ketemu.
Baik.
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 Kabarnya baik. Gimana nih ngelihat MPL tanpa adanya wajahmu?
Tetap jago-jago ya tim lainnya. Dan kayaknya Geek Fam kalah sih malam ini.
Waduh, udah langsung jawab ya, cepat sekali nih.
Langsung aja.
Langsung aja, Audi. Tapi ini bersama dengan tim Dewa ada maksudnya tidak nih?
Nggak ada maksud, tapi paling minggu depan announce saya kali ya.
Wow. Minggu depan harus ditunggu ya. Tapi ada tim Dewa United juga yang mereka berjuang tapi harus terhenti. Nah inilah dia ada Ray, Mueza, Spencer dan juga Maybe. Kalian ini nonton playoff memang di final lower bracket khusus spesial atau bagaimana?
Iya sih, nontonnya di final lower kayak mau tahu siapa yang dapat slot MSC satu lagi.
Dapat slot MSC satu lagi, tapi ketika Onyx ngedapetin yang tiket pertama itu, Mueza duka nggak?
Udah nyangka sih pas ngelihat Onyx balik performanya gitu kayak ya di playoff tau lah Onyx bakal kayak menggila lagi.
Oh, mode playoff memang mode yang berbeda ya. Tapi kalau ngebahas satu sisa terakhir ini antara RRQ dan juga Geek Fam, kita lihat performa mereka di regular dan di babak playoff. Beda nggak sih Ray?
Beda. Lebih kuat di playoff.
Lebih kuat di playoff?
Ya.
Kan ada dua jungler yang kita mungkin bisa bahas lebih dalam ya sama Ray. Gimana Ray ngelihat performa dari Susu Jin dan juga di sana ada Make It?
Jago-jago sih emang siapa aja yang menang pantas banget lah. Emang jago junglernya.
Tapi ngelihat meta sekarang jungler kan tiba-tiba lumayan unik ya. Bisa ada Kaja, bisa ada segala macam. Ray ngelihatnya gimana sih?
Bagus sih, makin luas lah hero pool orang-orang yang main jungle di playoff.
Oke, ini menarik ya pastinya. Ray juga pernah menjijikan diri di babak playoff. Memang kalau di playoff tuh suasananya berbeda ya Ray?
Ya lebih tegang lah.
Lebih tegang. Tapi ketegangan ini pasti juga kita rasakan di mana Bude penasaran dari kacamata Maybe. Maybe ngelihat dua tim ini bertanding di final lower bracket. Menurutmu sendiri, siapa sih kuncian player dari kedua tim ini? Atau winning condition dari kedua tim ini tuh seperti apa sih?
Kalau dari GFM ya, kalau dari GFM Baloyski sih. Kalau dari RQ si Rins.
Oke, jadi memang berbeda ya. Kalau pergerakannya porosnya berarti ada di Rins, kalau di GFM itu Baloy. Dan ini kelihatan dari game-game yang sudah berlangsung di lower bracket ini apa dari kemarin-kemarin juga seperti itu?
Dari awal-awal juga kelihatan sih.
Oke, ini jadi pertandingan yang tentunya sangat mendebarkan bukan? Karena lower bracket final ini best of 7. Kalau Maybe sendiri ngeliat pertarungan best of 7 itu sebagai pro player apa sih yang harus benar-benar difokuskan?
Jaga mental aja sih paling. Soalnya 7 game kan man.
7 game, oke. Dan memang dari 7 game ini akan menjadi 7 game yang mahal. Apalagi ini akan menjadi satu slot untuk internasional, Spencer. Ngelihat performa tim Indonesia, Onyx udah dapat tiket. Ini satu lagi antara RRQ dan juga GigFam. Kita sanggup gak sih bersaing untuk internasional?
Kalau aku rasa sanggup, cuman ya harus ditingkatin disiplinnya lagi.
Kedisiplinan yang harus ditingkatkan. Namun terakhir nih ya, satu persatu. Siapa nih yang bakal mendapatkan tiket terakhir untuk MSC at EWC? Ayo, dari Maybe, siapa nih?
Awalnya sih mikirnya Gig sih. Tapi dilihat dari skor sekarang kayaknya RQ deh.
Oh, RRQ. Spencer.
RRQ.
RRQ juga. Dari Moeza?
GigFam.
GigFam, beda sendiri. Kenapa nih? Padahal lagi ketinggalan.
Ya aku percaya aja sih sama mereka. Soalnya ya aku ngerasa mereka kuat lah mentalnya. Harusnya bisa bounce back.
Bounce back mental dari GigFam yang dipertahankan. Namun gimana halnya dengan Ray? Mantan tim atau RRQ nih?
Mantan tim dong, GigFam.
Oke, dia yang harusnya paling tahu. Kenapa nih GigFam?
Karena ada Baloy.
Karena ada Baloy. Oke, gimana halnya dengan King Audi?
Buat penonton GigFam kok kata saya langsung pulang aja sih. Ini udah 4-1 soalnya.
Baru 3-1, akan 4-1?
Udah langsung 4-1 ini soalnya.
Kenapa seyakin itu Audi?
2 game tadi nggak jelas soalnya udah bisa menang malah comeback mulu.
Oke, jadi memang kelihatan GigFam-nya harusnya bisa menang tapi enggak terus jadi udah kelar aja.
Betul.
Betul, jadi suara bulat untuk RRQ.
Bulat, saya Kingdom soalnya.
Wujud Audi ternyata dibuka adalah Kingdom. Oke Audi, tapi terima kasih banget. Selamat menikmati untuk lower bracket final masih akan berlanjut. Best of 7 akankah berakhir setelah game ini atau masih akan diperpanjang? Semuanya masih punya kesempatan dan Jakarta International Velodrome bersiaplah untuk menyambut game kelanjutan dari RRQ dan GigFam.
That was the whole day with squad pulling up to the Jakarta International Velodrome alongside Audi TZ.
Is that a sign?
Yeah, is that a sign? Might Audi might be joining Dewa?
I mean, Moeza was there.
Oh.
Who knows?
Kind of interesting because I mean, I don't know. We were talking about this just earlier, right? But that Dewa squad, that one combination with where they had Sorizo, along with some other members. I forgot the exact combination. It did pretty well. And the next time we saw them in MPL, they just revamped the whole thing again. So we're like, is this a next season angle or what?
Yeah, they beat RRQ 2-0, right? On the...
that was, RRQ playing with Chen, right?
Yeah.
Oh, playing with Chen.
Oh, I guess I erased it from my memory.
I'm lagging. So I don't think I'll let lag ruin my life and make me lose rank because you can enjoy a seamless gaming experience with IndiHome Pocket G21, offering fast and stable internet. Get speeds of up to 100 Mbps for just 375,000 Indonesian rupiah. Subscribe now via MyTelkomsel or tsel.id/nasional. Cole Leos here is a streamer and he needs fast internet and he's been using Telkomsel. And obviously, when Cole Leos is streaming, he's chilling, he's hungry, he wants to bite on something, and we need to snack like gamers and like champs with Sucro. #Gasla, by the way. I finished an entire pack by myself.
Did you?
Careful.
Yeah.
Wow.
When the game was running, I had this all by myself. Hey!
Bang! Skill issue.
Skill issue. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
How much would you give?
Hey, give me some. Give me some.
I did it.
100K if you. Nah, I won't 100K. 50K. 50K.
One shot.
Bang!
Wait, he kind of banged his head onto the wall.
Nice try. Nice
Banging
try.
head, bro.
Give some of that.
Gotta be careful.
No.
Gonna try.
Come on.
There's TV behind you.
Oh! Let's go!
Skill. That's
That's
synergy.
skill.
Synergy.
Man.
Skill issue.
Oh my god.
But no synergy issue. So
They are
obviously.
fighting right now because Geek against RRQ, right?
now they're-
Think about chemistry. Look at
Yeah.
this.
They have
Look
a
at
very,
this.
very
That's
good
for the win,
chemistry.
bro.
Talking about chemistry.
Oh man, that's really good. This is the original flavor, right?
Yeah.
So good.
Original.
Talking about flavors, I also have my favorite food when it comes to flavors. It is Hokben or Hoka Bento because currently they have a special collaboration between Hokben and MPL. You can enjoy the MPL menu starting from just 20,000 rupiah. We have the MPL Hokben fried chicken. We have also the MPL Hoka ramen if you prefer noodles, and we have the MPL Hoka hemat if you know,
What is that?
if your pockets are out of money.
I see. Well, it's looking kind of dry, you know what I mean?
Because hemat means, saving.
Right.
Yeah.
Efficient.
Efficient.
And now, what does Geek need to do to come back from this game? Because they are one loss away from just gone and not making it to
told me
MSC.
that.
One match point for RRQ. And can they have the remontada like
Real
Hey,
Madrid.
Scolius, MDL. I forgot which season.
Remontada.
3-0.
Remontada.
Fam came back 4-3.
But it's MDL?
Yeah, in MPL playoffs.
That's
season
grand final.
12, I believe.
12.
Yeah.
12.
Yes.
2-0. Marky came in.
Marky happened.
Marky came in, then 3-2. You know, maybe there's something going on in the background. It is something too strong.
Are you, is it one of the copiums again?
Yeah, I'm inhaling both copium and hopium on both nostrils.
Wow. I think you'll be
So you hope
suffocating by
that
then.
maybe Gigfam might bring Kadera.
I gotta say, we're being real, not really. But they gotta do something, maybe, I'm being contradictory here.
I mean, dude, I was talking to, I was with Midnight in the audience for that match, and Delara was there, and we were just joking about it, like, hey, what if they bring out Chadera, and then they do the switch into the comeback type of deal against Onyx, and we're like, nah.
There's no way, dude. And now the drafting phase, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. This might be the last draft ever for Geek Fam in MPL ID Season 15, unless they pull out something miraculous for RRQ. It's all about focusing their sights on to that MSC ticket to Riyadh and EWC. Lucas, Chip, Fox got taken out. The Kalea as well was deemed to be a problem. The Joy respected and the Fanny as well.
And right away, the Phobius big for Goff, so they know that they're gonna have to deny Tyrant's early game potential, but I don't know if that's gonna be the right move here. There's still a lot of heroes that's left to pick, especially for Sutsujin. Okay, the Lucas is banned, but there's still the Fredrin, there's still the Harith to be picked up. Even the Hayabusa can still be picked. Yeah, maybe that one too.
There's a lot of possibilities here to get picked by RRQ.
Payback
time.
Oh, man. They want that Farsa, dude. Again, like, you can call it what you want. Budget Sans 2.0. Whichever how you cut it, it's just a really good pick right now. Especially because Geek Fam, they do have a lot of emphasis in having that backline presence with Kenziski and usually a boy. But now, with the Hayabusa, I'd be a bit too dangerous for Rins to do the same kind of plays.
I was wondering, like you mentioned about backline presence, and I remember Lowski used to pick a lot of Show early in the season.
Oh,
but, this kind of heroes kind of makes it hard to play a Show, even there's
You didn't like it.
Huh?
You say you didn't like it.
Yeah. I stand corrected, apparently.
Why though?
Huh?
Why though?
Because, it's the first 2 weeks, brother. You know how bad was it?
Well, now it's up to the teams, RRQ and Geek Fam on the second phase of the bans, the Aerithel.
Oh!
Yeah, good ban. Obviously, they want to pick up the one. They picked up the 1-1, so they want to pander onto that, not let, and they won't let Geek Fam have a strong matchup lane against the 1-1. For Geek Fam though, they ban out here. Something to
or jungler
possibly cut down or catch, like the Franco and Edoff.
Man, I mean, because RRQ right now still already have the Hylos as the front laner. That's why Franco might work for RRQ if they want to pick it. But if you look at the head-to-head, it's 50-50 for Suxin against Martian.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they have a different gameplay, right?
Play style.
Is more like play style.
Yeah.
Martian is need like bursting the damage, give the damage to the opponents, and Suxin is for the utility.
Utility mage. Obviously with the lift off and all that. Ranger banned out. Are they trying to cone down the options for Geek Fam? But I think the Harith is still available, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're really that worried about the Harith, especially when you have this front line and also a good punish in 1-1. And by the way, speaking of punish, this Phoveus pick, the more that I take a look at it, you know, the Hylos, the 1-1, this is gonna be a really, really hard game for Gaussman. If you pull this off, like, hats off to you.
Yeah. RRQ need to wait until the mid to late game, right?
Yeah.
They need to wait until 1-1 and Farsha have the damage. But I think it's possible for RRQ using another Fred Drain on this game.
Well, hey, the Badang is still open, by the way. So if RRQ wants to try and stop all this dive coming in, wants that big AoE teamfight ultimate, the Badang is still on the table, despite the Franco anti-grill being respected very wisely coming in from Geek.
And that is Glue. So obviously a very strong matchup for the Glue against the Phoveus, right? Does that mean RRQ now have all the aces in their cards?
I don't know if I would go that far. By all means, there's an assassin threat against the Pharsa. You know, even though the lanes are winning, overall so far, we have to look at the final 2 picks before we can see and kind of predict how the first turtle is going to go, how the 3-man rotation is going to go from the mid lane.
This might be a Cho, by the way. One of the main problems that Pulowski had in the previous game was he can't really get away from the Glorious Pathway and he gets punished really easily. And how do you counter that with a hero that can screen way better than a Badang? But yet again, it's still gonna be hard for him to be able to catch Toy that built in Purify. So there's pros and cons there. Let's see what they have. Yeah, it's gonna be a Cho.
So you call
justice in the world.
All right, Choloyski coming through here after we did
again. Oh man.
Again though.
Oh no.
It's almost like RRQ are rehashing the same kind of strategy, where Geek Fam now having a different solution, a different attempt at trying to solve the same problems. The aggressive chase potential here, and the burst coming in, physical and magical from the Pharsa and Yi Sun-shin.
Wow, the Yi Sun-shin popping up again. But with the Cho now having that potential of screening, that might be a different case. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Will this YSS bear fruit for Geek Fam? Cassers, take it away.
The mercenary has been paid in full by the captain in Rins. Yi Sun-shin to seal the deal. 4-1 is the deal at hand right now for the Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps the final game of the series. Will the Kingslayers prolong this best of 7, or will we see their fate sealed here by RRQ? Welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 5.
Let's watch and witness. RRQ, they may take the MSC slot. They may take the grand finals of season 15 right here, right now. Let's see how Geek Fam will handle this game with Aloyski. Going for comforts. Yep. Like regular season-wise, Loyski is back.
But it's the way they played with the Choloyski, right? It wasn't just a random Cho. It feels like a random Cho for Geek Fam, and you can already see him getting, I was gonna say killed. Good flicker out from Beloy, but it's still reactive here. The Cho in the regular season, Gani, it was paired up with the Moskov. It was paired up with even Claude, you know, something that can split in the side and then you will just screen across the map. You have a Harith now, so you're much more of a team-fighting Cho. And that doesn't fit Choloyski. Like, he's not known for mechanics. He's known for screening, macro. Oh, he's gonna have like a really good mechanical game on the Cho.
I mean, Force is a juicy target, right? And he is confident in popping the and using the flicker. He is confident that, yeah, there will be Dyron, there will be Doc that will cover me. Let's see if Cho or Beloyski finds that tight angle to provide the impact.
Oh man, Quad Shadow already used up. Oh, Maykids, gotta respect that. The thing about the Cho as well, yes, you can go onto Rins, but I think most of the times you want to go onto the enemy jungle. Yisun Shin has CC immunity with his first skill, and that actually helps a lot when you're up against the Cho here. Beloyski going in, he doesn't have the flicker, remember, so he's gonna have to wait. Oh, walk the whole way, taking 2 turret shots. RRQ steady in control, Rins and Dyron at 4, a boy, no mana already.
Do they have setup though? That's gonna be the question. RRQ into Turtle Pit.
That's gonna be the Jikundo over. Got the one who secures the turtle. Sutsujin gonna be taken very low. Still has a step for the airstrike into the back. Sutsujin still able to claim first blood, but a boy falls next as he gets the trade in.
I think it's equal, 2 for 1, but Geek, they got the turtle. But again, RRQ, they have mobility with Rins, with Edoc. It's going to be tough for Geek Fam to react towards the rotations perhaps, right? Sure, they have a Cho, but yeah, with the wings by wings, the Rins can definitely move around the map. Oh, Maykids.
Rins still has flicker, but the Jikundo helps Maykids get the shadow kill, and Rins wasn't able to pop the flicker just in time to get away from the shadow kill. Good trades for Geek Fam. Beloyski now trying to help Kenziski clear this wave, knowing that the Swan one will have a better time in lane. Now Zaman Force over as well. Into the turret they go. Really wanting to get a few more shots at him.
Gotta be careful though. Don't get too greedy from the side of Geek Fam, but as long as Maykids connects his Quad Shadow onto his right target, like that earlier skirmish, all good for Geek Fam. Because then, yeah, RRQ will have to deal with that Quad Shadow, right? So let's see here. Maykids.
Oh, Jikundo away the Dragon Lantern Flare, pure CC. But unfortunately, Beloyski is the one who gets the kill. It's a win though still for Geek Fam. How do they capitalize? It doesn't seem like they can. It'll just be a pick. That's it.
It's a back-to-back kill on towards Rins this time around. A different story. It came. The previous game was a boy who saw the dark screen most of the time. Oh, Kenzie, very low.
Oh, Zaman Force! Onto the other side, that's a back. Oh, hold up. Sutsujin gonna be knocked up now. Lantern Flare throwing him back. Gobs rotating already. Doesn't have the flicker. Diamond coming in as well as a boy gets caught in the tough spot. Now his Toy goes in, over to the back. Crossbow attack ready!
A boy goes down. It's Beloyski now very low as RRQ. They have answered back.
Maykids Quad Shadow on the shadow kill coming down as well. Still though, it's Edoc who takes the beating. Kenzie wants the kill, but is it even worth it to go for Edoc? Oh! Zaman Force and Edoc will fall. Kenzie looking for the outplay again, jumps onto Rins. This will be Kenzie getting a double, but he is mounted on. He will try his best to go under the turret, and he will be able to do so, surviving.
Calm collected by the young blood Kenzie. But Dyron, their experience comes in and finds the kill.
Way of the Dragon ready. Lantern Flare to knock him up. The Way of the Dragon can be used here, but they decide not to. They know that it's a free kill anyways. Maykids taking a while. Spread. He might be able to get a second mount on. No, gets it in the end, and there will be no capitalization. Just RRQ with a turtle. This is the thing. They always have avenues on the other side of the map. They're always trading. And when it looks like Geek Fam find a good trade, RRQ comes in and says, no, I got a turtle. I got a turret. I got something on the other side of the map.
Very great macro indeed from side of RRQ here first 5 minutes. It's just 1,000 gold though between them, so counterplay should come. For now, okay, Maykids already sent towards the far lane, right? You can see Geek Fam already moving as a unit, 4 members. Let's see how RRQ does this. 3 times taken down though. Rins got to be more careful later on.
Beloyski rotating up top. Rins needs to be good on that flicker. Good Shunpu out. A point in mid lane. Stunned up despite the Crimson Beacon and the flicker out too. Brave Spine coming down with the Lantern Flare, but Edoc is still going to be marching in forward. Dyron slam, putting him down again. Gobs mounted on.
Toy jumps in, looking for the crossbow attack. Gobs isolated.
Gobs taken down. Rins picks up the kill. Beloyski opening it up again, but pay attention to Sutsujin, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever these fights are happening, he's just farming. And that's why he's been able to get a level lead, I was about to say. Stun ready for Setsujin, no quad shadow. Odds are good for him. Oh, good quad shadow back there. Luckily for Maykids, there was no one to follow up, no one waiting on that shadow.
Yeah, I mean, Setsujin seems like he does not care. Yesterday there was a 1v1 against Sans, and Sans got the better of him. It's gonna be RRQ though, still controlling the turtle area. I wonder, can Maykids find a steal?
Toy? Looking for the play feather, airstrike, baiting up Crimson Bacon! Beloyski, Jeet Kundo on the way to Dragon into the quad shadow, Maykids! Get the killing spree!
Crossbow Tang finds the connection and will claim the double.
Oh, Maykids stranded without the quad shadow. Now it's Kenzie on him, but Toy will continue the chase. Gobs gets a big play. A maniac for Toy. He's looking for the savage, and he will find it.
Jakarta International Velo Tournament erupts as in the lower bracket finals, Toy claims the savage.
In the past, RRQ has relied on one man alone to carry them. Here, Toy is displaying, I would say, that level of play, but also the rest of the team plays it just as well. The enabling of Toy, what a great play this was. The crossbow attack and also just the coordination of the rest of the team to let the crossbow attack fly. I cannot stress to you, Gani, how annoying it is as a 1-1 player to play with my team who's already winning in the team fight for me to get the crossbow attack, but for me to not be able to pop it because my team wants to kill the guy. Now Maykids, shadow kill, desperate, under 4 members, a legendary Toy on 1-1.
We're 8 minutes in, it's already 8 kills for Toy. This is not the Land of Dawn at this point, this is Toy's playground.
When the kingdom was shaky, Toy was the only one stable now. Uh-oh, in the bush, Setsujin! And a 1v1 up against Kenziski now. It is going to be a solo kill from the mercenary, Beloyski in the mid lane too, forced to back away.
My, oh my. Geek Fam, how the great have fallen. It's going to be RRQ now, again applying pressure in the mid this time round. They have all the time that they need. Revitalize is there.
Oh,
no damage from Geek Fam.
Absolutely none. They have not been able to secure Pharsa in the first phase, and that has really costed them. 1-1 becomes free for the taking. Even the Yi Sun-shin that was dealt with by Onyx with the Pharsa. This is the reason the damage-dealing mid laners have found so much value. If you don't use it in your lineup, you can see crazy picks like this just go all out. Even with the Hayabusa, usually it would be enough to deal with the 1-1, but not this time. RRQ are en route, ladies and gentlemen, to secure the final ticket to MSC at EWC. Kenzie!
Isolated, and that's going to be RRQ taking Kenziski down. This is not good for Geek Fam as RRQ. They're reading them like a book.
An 8,000 gold lead to the kingdom.
My goodness.
The Kings who have fallen from grace. #1 in the regular season. We thought possibly a guaranteed slot through upper bracket finals. But Onyx put them down. Geek Fam looked, at least in game 1, to be the ones to slay them. Now Rin's fallen. But Maykids is caught stranded again against Setsujin, who was waiting. The recalls from Setsujin as he watches Maykids to take his own life under the turret.
That was Setsujin saying goodbye to Maykids, saying goodbye potentially towards the journey of Geek Fam. Let's see.
Way to drive for skill from Setsujin. Combo Tang!
Oh my goodness, RRQ! They're toying Geek Fam as they push and look for the final push.
The rookie falling, the mercenary! Going wild with a maniac! The Fallen Kings have risen from the depths of the lower bracket with a statement victory over the Kingslayers. Now they point at the ones up above, the Sky Kings, who await their final match of Season 15.
It is all over for Geek Fam. the young blood make it. You can see the pain, but a convincing win for the Kingdom. RRQ. They fall yesterday, but it seems like today they are here. They are back at MSC.
Welcome RRQ Hoshi in the company with elite teams. To Geek Fam, GG, well played. Jakarta International Velodrome is orange tonight with a win for RRQ after a devastating loss in Game 1. The comeback, the composure. You can see the fans celebrating here in Jakarta International Velodrome, what it means to them to finally, once again, back to back, make it to the grand finals of MPL Indonesia.
It is going to be, it's official. RRQ Onyx again. The Royal Derby / the Royal Bestie will meet once again. Will they have their final revenge? Let's watch and witness tomorrow, but that is Geek Fam saying their goodbyes.
A fist bump, last one here to show the sportsmanship from both these teams, competitors. Amazing performance from RRQ. A less than stellar performance for Geek Fam, who a lot of analysts, a lot of pundits predicted to be the ones to lift the trophy, to be the ones to at least make it to MSC. A Hail Mary play. Sutsujin was too cold with that one. This play in the end, that first skill to deny the way of the dragon and then to wipe them out. In cold blood, Sutsujin was paid to deal with the Kingslayers, who've always been RRQ's kryptonite, and he did the job well. Next contract on the list for the Mercenary is the God in the Jungle.
Yellow Porcupines definitely is going to be next on that list, and it's the passion coming from the regular season MVP.
Let's throw it over to the stage for an interview with the victors, our second team to MSC, ladies and gentlemen. Budi Clara Mongstar, take it away.
Tim Geek Fam telah mengukir sejarah, namun semua itu harus berakhir hari ini. Di detik ini dengan perjuangan yang begitu luar biasa. Ini adalah awal baru mereka, bagi mereka ini bukan akhir, namun kita ingin mendengar kata-kata terakhir dari tim Geek Fam.
Yang pasti mau terima kasih buat Geek Community yang udah dorong kita dari #8 di awal regular season. Tapi kita masih kerja keras sampai kita bisa berbaret. Tapi ya kita masih tim muda sih menurut gua, kayak player-player baru. Jadi kita season depan kayak lebih coba prepare lagi aja ya. Percaya kita bakal lebih kuat. Gua yakinin kalian dan kita bakal dapat lagi yang namanya internasional. Terus ya yang pasti ya buat RRQ sama Onyx, buat di MSC good luck. Kalian yang tim yang paling kuat lah di Indo, dan you guys deserve it. Good luck.
Good luck. Dan inilah dia momen terakhir untuk Geek Community, untuk seluruh super fans. The one last bow from Team Geek Fam. Once a geek, always a fam. Terima kasih atas perjuangan tim Geek Fam. Namun kalau kita melihat perjuangan pasti naik turun, dan inilah dia momen yang dinantikan oleh Kingdom, kemenangan dari tim RRQ Hoshi. Mendapatkan bukan hanya slot Grand Final, namun Riyadh MSC at EWC adalah tujuan mereka. RRQ, congratulations. Berangkat dari lower bracket, berjuang di lower bracket final, kemenangan ini. Mungkin ada yang ingin disampaikan atas kemenangan hari ini?
Ya, kalau dari gua sama teman-teman gua, makasih banget lah kepada Kingdom. Berkat kalian kita bisa jadi semangat lagi mainnya. Jadi makasih banget.
Terima masih terus berlanjut namun Toy, momen ini lower bracket final. Di saat kemarin kalian sempat terhempas ke lower bracket. Kamu hadir terlihat lebih perkasa dan mendapatkan Savage. Ini Toy, di hari ini apakah ada motivasi berbeda?
Ya motivasi sih kalau dari aku ya harapan gitu. Harapan dari teman-teman aku, dari Kingdom itu yang bikin aku semangat banget.
Harapan tentunya. Apa nih mindset apa yang Toy bawa untuk hari ini?
Ya udah pasti kita pengen juara.
Kita pengen juara, RRQ ingin juara, ingin membuktikan diri. Dan mengingat lawan kalian, ini mungkin bukan lawan yang mudah. Banyak sekali rintangan yang harus dihadapi. Dan sampai titik ini, mungkin kita bakal langsung tanya kepada Rins, di mana Rins, kamu menjadi kapten di musim ini. Membawa RRQ berjuang dari regular season hingga babak playoff. Dan akhirnya ini momen yang pasti diharapkan kan. Bagaimana sih kamu mewujudkan hal itu?
Mungkin dari kita berlima sama coaching staff sama manajemen lebih semangat sih season ini. Soalnya kita sebelumnya di season sebelumnya sempat runner up. Itu bagi kita sebuah kesedihan lah. Yang harusnya nggak pantas lah di kita.
Dan pada akhirnya itu membuat jadi cambuk kalian yang baru untuk season ini.
Ya.
Riset yang sangat cepat, kita sempat dengar bahwa spirit kalian perlu diuji. Gue udah penasaran, bagaimana dengan semangat juang kalian, spirit juara kalian. Dari yang kemarin mungkin sempat redup dikit dan apakah sekarang udah on lagi?
On fire banget. Soalnya kita sekarang udah merasakan BO7 dan besok di Grand Final kita BO7. Semoga kita bisa menang juga lah dengan skor kayak gini.
Well, best of 7 sudah mereka jajaki. Mereka sudah icipi. Dan kalau ngelihat kemenangan hari ini, tentu yang paling dari tadi kita penasaran bagaimana Idok bisa untuk bertarung di Land of Dawn melawan sang mastermind Baloyski untuk di final lower bracket ini. Seberapa intens untuk Idok sendiri di lower bracket final ini?
Ya pasti sangat intens lah. Ya match panas juga, lawan yang kuat. Ya ada berasal dari upper juga yang sama kan. Ya gua juga kuat-kuatin mental juga dan percayain sama mereka semua.
Menguatkan mental. Jadi menurut Idok untuk di lower bracket final ini memang mental itu adalah yang nomor satu?
Ya kalau dari BO7 ya mental dan fisik.
Mental dan fisik. Dan bisa dibilang ini RRQ lagi prime juga ya. Udah siap untuk best of 7?
Siap.
Siap. Dan mereka membuktikan diri. Dan kalau kita bilang tentang best of 7, tim RRQ, Dairon, kita ngebahas tentang best of 7. Banyak yang bilang dan dari history RRQ di best of 7 itu menjadi tantangan besar. Untuk season ini apakah best of 7 bukan lagi menjadi tantangan besar?
Enggak lah, kan kita juga udah sering grand final kan. Jadi ya bukan tantangan juga lah. Kita udah sering ngadepin BO7 juga sih.
Sudah sering menghadapi best of 7 dan kalau membuat hasilnya jatuh ke tangan kalian, kalau Dairon sendiri apa yang kamu fokus ini? Khususnya untuk lower bracket yang best of 7 ini baru banget, sebelumnya nggak pernah ada.
Mungkin kita ambil semangat Kingdom yang ada di sini kali ya. Kayak kita Kingdom di sini semangat, jadi kita harus lebih semangat lagi.
Semangatnya mengalir dan bisa dirasakan